2. The maid beside scolded Suafan, Gu young master praised you, yet you're not kneeling to thank him. Do you want to die? The people around said, this kid really has luck, to be praised by young master Chang'e. But he's a bit foolish. The prince, in the mortal body, had no choice but to kneel and bow, saying, I thank young master Chang'e for the praise. I beg young master not to mind my lack of manners. He was sweating profusely, secretly cursing. As expected, Gu Chang'e is even more terrifying than the rumors. Just a glance from him made me want to blend into the crowd and see if anyone could recognize my identity. But this is a level beyond ordinary prodigies. Damn it! If only Dan Yu were here. She would definitely recognize me. Gu Chang'e smiled and said, get up. Kneeling here for too long might make people think I like to bully others. But in his heart, he thought, being able to bend and stretch is much better than Yiling. According to the system's prompt, mortal's sole possession of a stronger being is essentially a flawless soul exchange, using the identity of a stronger being to continuously forge a false power route. The prince raised his head, stood up, and said, thank you, young master. Gu Chang'e thought to himself. It's obvious that Chu Fan's soul must have already swapped with the original owner of this body. Gu Chang'e said, junior sister, you must be tired after such a long journey, right? Why don't you rest for a while? Enmi happily replied, I'll listen to my senior brother. Gu Chang'e casually said, then take your time. But then, one of Gu Chang'e's hands was grabbed by someone. Yu Mingkong, standing nearby, said, Chang'e still needs to entertain the distinguished guest here. How can you leave casually? This made Enmi momentarily unsure of what to say. But Gu Chang'e secretly transmitted sound to Enmi, watch this servant closely. Let me know if you notice anything. Enmi was startled and replied, understood. Gu Chang'e wore a troubled expression and said, Siener, take Enmi downstairs to rest. You go. Gu Siener, who was sitting, eating snacks and watching the scene, was surprised, me? Gu Chang'e replied, don't waste time, or I'll take back the money. Prince Wang stood beside and said to Wang Ziqin, sister, is there something wrong with this servant? Wang Ziqin replied, I don't know, but this servant is the main character. Wang Wushuang asked in confusion, main character. Wang Ziqin thought, the celestial woman of the nine-tailed fox clan seems to have some interest in Gu Chang'e. The scene switched to Gu Chang'e's residence, on a clear night with the moon shining brightly. The puppets were lined up neatly, waiting for instructions. Gu Chang'e teased, enough. The puppet I got from the reincarnation Heavenly Lord's mansion, the great sage-level puppet, should finally be put to use. He looked at the neatly arranged puppets and said, as expected of the puppets crafted by the reincarnation Heavenly Lord, their vitality is almost indistinguishable from that of real living beings. On the chest of a female puppet, a red stone appeared, containing powerful energy. Gu Chang'e thought, as long as I use the devouring immortal magic to infiltrate these cores. In an instant, he released a great amount of power, spreading all around, penetrating every puppet and expanding outward. Gu Chang'e thought, isn't this exactly what people refer to as the successor of the demonic art? A great sage level demonic art successor appears, to deal with Wang Ziqin and cover up my identity as the heir of the human ancestor. Paul, this is the most logical thing. The 5 puppets filled with power showed dangerous smiles. Gu Chang'e's purple eyes flickered as he thought, I believe you will hold on until I come to rescue you, right, Lady Qin? Everything is ready, just lacking the right timing. Suddenly, Enmi widened her eyes and shouted, who is it? Gu Chang'e walked out from the passage and said, it seems you haven't been slacking off, always diligently cultivating. This made Enmi exclaim, Master. Enmi was wearing a sexy nightgown at this moment and assumed a defensive posture. She shyly said, Master, did you come here so late because of Chu Fan? Gu Chang'e sat on the bed and said, is Chu Fan that servant? Tell me about his background. While massaging Gu Chang'e, Enmi said, I found him on the road when I was young. At that time, he was starving and nearly dying on The street. I felt pity for him and adopted him. Gu Chang'e thought, a savior, huh? It seems that this child of destiny is actually connected to Yin Mi asked worriedly, Master, is there something wrong with Chu Fan? Gu Chang'e slyly said, Chu Fan probably isn't the same as before. If you want to know the truth, why not call him here and ask him? The scene shifted to a grand hall. Yin Mi brought Chu Fan there, saying, Master, Chu Fan is here. The prince thought to himself, did I hear that right? Did Yin Mi just call Gu Chang'e master? She didn't call him that during the day. Chu Fan pretended to salute and said, I didn't know young Master Chang'e summoned me. What is your command? Gu Chang'e said, May I ask, what is your honorable name, Dao brother? This made the fake Chu Fan sweat profusely. He thought, as expected, I can't fool him. This person is terrifying. Not only in strength, but even his identity and power are apparent. His words carry immense power. Even now, all the ancient races would have to think carefully. Perhaps he can help me. Immediately, the fake Chu Fan showed a smile. He said, Ha, Brother Gu, you indeed have sharp eyes. You discovered everything. That's right, I'm not Chu Fan. Yen Mi glanced at him and thought, as expected, he has become someone else. Su Fan pretended to say, not to hide from Brother Gu, I am from the family of the Imperial Frost. Actually, I am a direct descendant of the Emperor. I have been covered in dust for many years, and I have always been cultivating in the Emperor's palace, never leaving there. This time, I don't know why my soul suddenly switched into this body. Usually, I greatly admire Brother Gu. Then, he knelt on one knee and said devoutly, From now on, I am willing to follow Brother Gu and serve you. Upon hearing this, Yen Mi was shocked. Gu Chang'e had a satisfied expression and thought, so he is a descendant of the Emperor. Su Fan secretly thought, fortunately, I am clever. If the outside world says that Gu Chang'e is not a great evil person, even if he doesn't help me, he probably won't kill me, right? But Gu Chang'e calmly said, so, apart from your memory, you seem to have no other use. The family connection to the Emperor is only valuable in part through the body. Purple energy lights surrounded Gu Chang'e, and Su Fan pretended to be nervous and thought, this aura. He shouted, Brother Gu, and immediately prepared to dodge, anxiously saying, don't kill me. I swear I didn't see anything. I am willing to follow your orders, do anything for you. Brother Gu, I am still valuable to you. Gu Chang'e smiled and said, indeed, your memory is still valuable. He gave a sly smile and coldly said, but I don't need you alive. In Gu Chang'e's room, the golden soul of the Emperor's mountain prince appeared before him. He thought proudly. As expected, a descendant of the Emperor, I never expected him to record so much of the legacy in the original. Without the soul exchange of the Child of Fortune, it would not be easy to obtain all this. Then, Gu Chang'e gently touched the bright soul. The soul instantly shot toward the puppets, and its power spread into the puppets' bodies. Gu Chang'e's eyes turned purple as he manipulated the thoughts, it's really great to have the support of the Emperor's aura. How prestigious the identity of the heir from Emperor's Mountain is. The 5 puppets in front of him are now full of power. Gu Chang'e tentatively asked, smile for me. The 5 puppets immediately smiled, but their faces were fierce. Several beams of light flew out from Gu Chang'e's great hall, carrying the words, don't waste time, take this town shielding. Charm with you. Be a little harsher. The 5 puppets answered in unison, yes, master, and then immediately left. Gu Chang'e pressed his hands together and walked out, thinking, Prince Qin, don't disappoint me. The scene shifted to Prince Qin's spacious courtyard. A beam of pressure light enveloped and protected Prince Qin, who had just finished cultivating. She stood firmly, looking at her body and said, my body has the perfect innate celestial body, flawless. Whatever I cultivate, I progress twice as fast as ordinary people. But why does Gu Chang'e give me the illusion that I can't wait for something? Prince Qin was dressed in modern clothes, a conspicuous sponge outfit, highlighting her long legs. Prince Qin muttered to herself worriedly, could it be that my cultivation is still not enough? She clenched her fists. And said, it seems that there are things in this world that can make me waver. This is interesting. It's not easy to find someone who can entertain me. I must catch up. Prince Qin sighed, Gu Chang'e, you can't escape my five-finger mountain. Suddenly, she sensed danger from behind. A very strong, powerful puppet approached Prince Qin. It pushed her away, sending her crashing into the wall. Prince Qin couldn't see clearly and shouted loudly, a great sage realm. She wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth and said dangerously, who are you? How dare you act under the eyes of the Chongqing Gu family? The muscular, powerful puppet responded, following the master's orders, I am here to take your life. Prince Qin looked at the muscular puppet and worriedly thought, what kind of identity does the master have, that even a great sage realm cultivator calls him master? But as soon as he saw him from a distance, Prince Kun immediately saw the great sage realm person appear in front of him, then punch her, sending her flying out. Before she could react, the man had tightly grabbed her ankle and threw her like a ragdoll. The great sage realm sneered. And said, do you feel like you've lost the ability to move? Because I've already set up a formation in this mansion. Prince Kun was now like a ragdoll being thrown around, tortured again and again. Prince Kun thought helplessly, damn. He was indeed prepared. Even as a quasi-sage, I'm no match for him. I can only delay time and wait for the Gu family to sense the situation and come to my rescue. The great sage realm, with immense strength, rushed over and shouted, anyone who dares to hinder the master must die. You die. Gu Chang'e will meet the same fate. Then he grounded his feet, preparing to finish off Prince Kun. But luckily, she had already turned 360 degrees and ran in the opposite direction. A 7-colored gem ring appeared in Prince Kun's hand. Prince Kun shouted, 5-colored bone ox. This was a defensive treasure. The great sage realm charged over suddenly, saying, the master was right. You indeed brought a treasure, but today, there's no escape from death. While struggling to resist, Prince Kun shouted, who exactly is your master? Do you know my identity? Can you bear the consequences of attacking me? The great sage realm, eyes filled with darkness, his body emanating a powerful aura, angrily shouted, ridiculous. You don't deserve to know. Go die obediently. Suddenly, Prince Kun was shocked and said in terror, this demonic aura. Is it the heir of the demon palace? Indeed, there's more than one of you. With one punch from the great sage realm, Prince Kun's small courtyard was constantly destroyed. He smugly said, just relying on a string of defensive beads won't save your life. Prince Kun desperately chanted a spell, feeling extreme panic, damn it, this bastard doesn't understand a word. How can I stall for time? She yelled, the Milky Way is 5-colored. As Prince Kun's strength was about to run out, she thought in despair, why has the heir of the demon palace targeted me? I'm sure I haven't exposed my identity yet. But wait, this person's aura, the punch of the great sage realm is filled with power. He said, I'm not done having fun yet. With just one punch, he sent Prince Kun flying. She cried out in pain. Prince Kun thought in despair, damn. I don't want to be trapped here, my life has just begun. I can only rely on it now. She prepared to use her last talisman. Just then, the great sage realm's foot landed in time, breaking the talisman. Prince Kun cried out in pain. The great sage realm, towering, pulled up her sponge-like clothes and arrogantly said, want to run? The master already calculated that you have many means of escape. You'll be obedient today. You look fine, how about I cripple you to save some energy? What do you think? The great sage realm showed a disgusting smile and said revolting words, I've never tasted a saintess's flavor. Ha! Prince Kun thought in despair, am I not a transmigrator? Am I not the protagonist? Why is this happening to me? Gu Chang'e, after controlling the puppets, silently waited for the right moment, thinking, the time has come. A voice transmission echoed throughout Gu Chang'e's hall and the entire Changxinggu family. You're too bold. Dare to commit murder right under the Changxinggu family's nose. Seeking death. On Prince Kuen's side, she continued to despair, tears of pain rolling down her face. Everyone resting in the small courtyard rushed out, shouting, "What's going on? What happened?" Shi Ling looked around and said, "Wasn't that the soul vibration from Brother Gu?" Yi Langtian also responded. "If I'm not mistaken, that was from the Changxing Wang family's direction. Hurry, let's go check it out." Immediately, many beams of light flew towards the Changxing Wang family. Yu Ming quietly observed from a distance and speculated, has it finally begun to target Prince Kuen? In the small courtyard of the Changxing Wang residence, a sound of desperate laughter echoed. The great saint realm was tightly holding Wang Zihao. She said in a daze, "It seems you have already failed." The great saint realm tightly gripped Wang Zihao's chin and shouted angrily, "Fail? I can still kill you." Immediately, Gu Chang'e appeared and shouted loudly, "Stop." His punch sent the great saint realm flying out of the courtyard. Wang Zihao, covered in injuries, with bruises on her eyes and nose, stammered, "Gu Chang'e. I'm really regretful. I'm sorry, Miss Zihao, that such a thing happened right under my nose." The great saint realm stood outside the courtyard and shouted, "Gu Chang'e. You've ruined my master's plans. Time and time again. Sooner or later, I'll take your life." Gu Chang'e retorted, "Who is your master?" The senior elder of the Changxing Wang residence rushed over like flying, striking down with his palm, shouting angrily, "How dare you attack a young lady of the Changxing Wang residence? You are seeking death." Then, intense fighting broke out outside. Next, two rays of light collided in the air, and an explosion of smoke erupted before they flew into the sky. The senior elder shouted, "Thief! Don't even think about escaping." The great saint realm sneered, "An elder from the Changxing Wang residence. You think you can catch me?" The white-haired old man took a deep breath. "Do you really think you can escape today? Do you think you can enter the Changxing residence whenever you like?" Gu Chang'e looked angry, speechless, and raised his hand to stop, thinking to himself, "This prince really has a quick temper. He acts before I can finish speaking." In the sky, two powerful forces collided. Several subordinates rushed up in a hurry and shouted, "Elder Wang! We're here to help." People gathered in front of the small courtyard of the Changxing Wang residence in disgust. Another person from the Great Saint realm came to assassinate someone in the Wang residence. What background does Wang Zihao have? Suddenly being beaten by the Great Saint realm on the Gu family's territory, what happened to Gu Chang'e's young master? Gu Chang'e helped Wang Zihao, who had just been violently treated, and walked out. Wang Xiong began to worry, shouting, "Sister." He turned to Gu Chang'e and asked, "Gu brother, who tried to assassinate my sister? We need an explanation." Wang Zihao tiredly leaned on Wang Wushuang and shouted, "Wushuang, you can't blame Gu brother for this. If he hadn't arrived in time, I'm afraid." Gu Chang'e sighed and solemnly said, "It was my negligence. However, I don't know much about it. I just arrived here." Then, he loudly said, "But everyone can rest assured, no one can save that murderer today. He will pay the price." Brilliant explosions continued to erupt in the sky. Someone anxiously shouted, "The great Saint Realm figure from the Sun family hasn't shown any signs of exhaustion. This murderer's strength is too powerful." Wang Wushuang also anxiously said, "What kind of background does this person have?" Gu Chang'e looked at Wang Zihao's luck index of 12,000 and thought to himself, "Indeed, she is a top-tier lucky girl. After just a short rest, her injuries have recovered by 70 to 80%. Gu Chang'e walked up and asked, "Miss Zihao, how are your injuries? Are there any problems?" She replied, "Oh, I'm fine." She secretly thought, Gu Chang'e seems to care with his words, but there's no warmth in his heart. After all, it's still about protecting the Gu family's reputation. If I don't take the initiative, it probably won't end well with this cold-hearted person. In front of her, Gu Chang'e still wore an indifferent expression. Then, Wang Zihao pretended to cry out, "Heavens!" Then she leaned into Gu Chang'e's arms and said, "Maybe my origin was injured, and my consciousness is a bit blurry. It was really dangerous just now. If Gu brother hadn't acted in time, I'm afraid I would have frozen to death." Gu Chang'e was angry, but he secretly thought, she's overthinking. Even if I ordered her death, her extraordinary luck wouldn't allow it. On the surface, Gu Chang'e still said indifferently, "I'm truly sorry for what happened today. Ultimately, it's the Gu family's failure. Miss Zihao will be compensated in the future." Wang Zihao still leaned against Gu Chang'e's side and whispered, "Gu brother, there's no need to blame yourself. Even if I weren't in the Gu family, they would have still acted." Gu Chang'e responded, "What do you mean?" Wang Wushuang's face changed drastically when he saw the push and pull dynamic between them. Wang Zihao turned back and asked Gu Chang'e, "Gu brother, don't you want to know who tried to assassinate me today?" Gu Chang'e asked in return, "Is it the heir of the demon skill?" Wang Zihao said confidently, Looks like Gu brother has already guessed my identity." "That's right, it's the heir of the demon skill. He targeted the holy maiden of our human race hall." A person who was eavesdropping couldn't help but exclaim, "I didn't expect the prince to have a human race saintess." The little bald man with big wings also responded, "That attacker turned out to be the heir of the demon palace, and not Yiling. So, that means," Gu Chang'e speculated, "the heir of the demon palace is so audacious. The person who appeared this time has reached the Grand Saint realm. If I'm not mistaken, there must be an organization behind this." Wang Ziqian, exhausted, said, "I suspect that Yiling, whom I fought with before, isn't the real heir of the demon palace. He might just be a pawn." Gu Chang'e glanced at her and replied, "Oh, a pawn. But since then, Yiling has never appeared again. It's still unclear whether he's alive or dead." Wang Ziqian walked over to observe the match and said, "His life and death no longer matter. What's important now is to uncover the identity of the heir of the demon palace and the organization behind them." In the sky, the two figures continued to clash. Wang Wushuang said, "Capture this person alive. After all, they are from the Grand Saint realm and might provide some useful information." But Gu Chang'e retorted, "The Grand Saint realm isn't that easy to capture." In the air, the Grand Saint realm person was also repelled. The old prince and several aides mocked, "Demon palace heir, you won't escape today." Another person shouted, "Thief! Surrender. 3 Grand Saints will defeat you, and you'll have no regrets." The Grand Saint realm person scoffed, You ants won't be proud for long. You will all become my master's servants in the future." The gem on his chest began to crack. Just before self-detonating, the Grand Saint realm person shouted, "My master will last forever, together with the chaos." The old prince screamed in panic, "No, he's going to self-destruct his spiritual energy." Another bald old man was also shocked, "What? A Grand Saint realm person self-destructing? This area will be wiped out." The old prince shouted to the people on the ground, "Run. The impact range of a Grand Saint realm is too vast. We old folks will try to stop him." Gu Chang'e shouted, "Everyone, don't panic. The elders of the Gu family have arrived." Immediately, a hand descended from the sky, grabbing the Grand Saint realm person. He shouted, "Supreme realm." As he self-detonated his spiritual energy, a huge explosion occurred. But the steady hand caught him just in time. An old prince was stunned. Is this a powerful expert from the Gu family's supreme realm? Another long-haired, long-bearded old man said in astonishment, "One strike to eliminate the Grand Saint realm cultivator who wanted to self-destruct. Truly worthy of the supreme realm." The people below were also shocked. Before they could react, someone said, "It's over. The gap between the Grand Saint realm and the supreme realm is this big?" Another replied, "Of course, even the heir of the demon palace is no exception." Gu Chang'e sighed, it's impossible to get any useful information from him. Wang Ziqian coldly replied, even if we capture him alive, we'll probably get no information. If they dared to assassinate me in the Gu family's territory, they must have prepared for this. Gu Chang'e agreed. She continued, however, Brother Gu, you should be careful next. The killer just said you're also their target. Gu Chang'e sneered, oh, the heir of the demon palace wants to kill me too. The old prince bowed in gratitude. Fortunately, young Master Gu discovered it in time and saved the young lady. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. Wang Ziqian responded, we must indeed thank Brother Gu for this. Gu Chang'e returned the courtesy, it's my duty. After all, this happened in the Gu family. If the thief succeeded and word got out, how could the Gu family face the world? The old prince added, by the way, when we fought with that person earlier, we sensed the aura of Tianhuang Mountain from him. A bald old man with a braided beard also said, yes, very clearly. Wang Ziqian speculated to himself, Tianhuang Mountain. A woman nearby trembled. How is that possible? Tianhuang Mountain has always claimed to be the orthodox path. The man also panicked, right, could we be mistaken? Gu Chang'e's face was serious as he said, I won't hide it from you, I also noticed that. Moreover, the killer's methods are very similar to Yi Ling's. I fought with him before, and these two seem to have the same origin. But with Yi Ling's cultivation, it is absolutely impossible for him to be his master, Gu Chang'e affirmed. After all, only powerful forces can command cultivators at the Great Sage Realm. A man and woman discussed, could the Demon Palace heir really be from Tianhuang Mountain? How terrifying! If Tianhuang Mountain is the mastermind behind this. But Gu Chang'e raised his hand to stop them, but we can't jump to conclusions too quickly, as everything seems too coincidental. If the killer is the heir of the Demon Palace, they shouldn't have shown any trace of Tianhuang Mountain's aura. This also earned the agreement of those around. Some asked in confusion, could it be that the killer is framing someone else? Gu Chang'e looked at Wang Ziqian and said, as for this matter, the person involved is Miss Ziqian. What do you think? He secretly thought. People who travel through time are usually arrogant and love to make everyone enchanted, while they themselves remain clear-headed. Wang Ziqian seemed a little lonely among the crowd, revealing her snowy white bare feet as she said, the person who attacked me is indeed the heir of the Demon Palace, and he indeed carries the origin aura of Tianhuang Mountain. Tianhuang Mountain has always regarded itself as the righteous sect, and the killer's aura appearing makes people instinctively think someone is framing them. Wang Ziqian crossed her arms and speculated, but this could be the biggest issue. If everyone believes Tianhuang Mountain is wronged and looks for other suspects, wouldn't that just let the real killer go free? The red-haired man immediately offered his opinion, the killer should have concealed his aura better. In that case, no one would have noticed. Tianhuang Mountain. According to Miss Wang, wouldn't that attract the attention of the major righteous forces and lead to their own downfall? Wang Ziqian shared her thoughts, making N Wudao constantly give her a thumbs up in his mind. Now everyone knows there isn't just one heir of the Demon Palace. As their actions grow more frequent, it's hard not to notice. If they are bound to be exposed, why not act as victims first? Dodge the arrows, everyone should understand this principle. The old lord stroked his beard and thought, deliberately creating a confusing situation, it's so hard to tell what's real and what's fake. Truly, the wisdom of a saint's mind, we never thought of this. Wang Ziqian then asked, what does Gu brother think? But opposite her, Gu Chang'e couldn't help but cover his mouth, suppressing the smile at the corner of his lips. This made Wang Ziqian ask, Gu brother. Gu Chang'e regained his composure and responded, yes, Miss Ziqian is really smart. After listening to you, I suddenly feel enlightened. In any case, the suspicion around Tianhuang Mountain cannot be dismissed. Yi Leng Tian raised his opinion, actually, at today's banquet, I heard that the crown prince of Tianhuang Mountain was born. People discussed, what? Is it so coincidental? The crown prince of Tianhuang Mountain appeared so soon. I once revered Tianhuang Mountain, but never thought they. Everyone was discussing, once the heir of the demon palace appears, the world is in chaos. The greatest suspect now is this enormous power of Tianhuang Mountain. What should we do in the future? Don't panic. The righteous side has the descendants of the divine altar, and also Chang'e, the young master with true immortal potential. With their leadership, what do we fear from the demon palace heir? Though that's true, Tianhuang Mountain isn't an ordinary power, and now they are also in a hurry. A notification appeared on the screen. A mortal has taken over a strong cultivator. The chi flow of the 10,000 souls of the strong has been exhausted, gaining 3,000 points of luck and 15,000 points of destiny. Gu Chang'e sat there, holding his head, pretending to have a headache, but the corner of his mouth couldn't help but curve up, smiling as he said, yes, truly worrying. Scene shifts to Tianhuang Mountain. High above, the false prince walked back and forth angrily, smashing the teapot. Really annoying. I clearly came into being long ago. How did you get to this point overnight? What does the demon palace heir have to do with me? My subordinates are still kneeling below waiting for orders. Then he shouted, get down and continue investigating. Outside the door, Mingyu was slowly walking towards him. Inside, the false prince was growing anxious to the point of madness. Ah, why is there no memory at all? Could it be true? Is Tianhuang Mountain really connected to the demon palace heir? This is the eternal enemy, universally recognized between heaven and earth. Even if I rely on Tianhuang Mountain, I can't get involved. He shouted to the sky, damn the heavens. Since I was allowed to enjoy, why make me suffer? Like this? If I knew the crown prince would turn out this way, I'd rather let the horse eat grass in peace. Mingyu stood outside the door, puzzled. What? Let the horse eat grass. Why has my brother been saying these strange things lately? This made the false prince break into a cold sweat. No. Could Mingyu really believe the rumors outside? The false prince sat on the dragon throne, thinking, I can't panic now, can't be afraid, and definitely can't admit anything. He said to Mingyu, outside, what do you think, sister? Mingyu also said seriously, I believe my brother, but we cannot ignore the rumors. So, the best way is to stop them. The rumors are coming from the Gu family's Chongsheng. I will go see Gu Chang'e and clear the suspicion. With his power, he should be able to turn the situation around. The false prince pretended to be casual and said, if my sister can solve this, it will make me worry less and be less guarded. He showed a fierce expression and said, Gu Chang'e, the Saint Woman's clan hall, why should your few words put me in such danger? I will remember you, just wait. The scene shifted to the front of the Chongqing Gu family, where Wang Zichen was about to leave. She said, Gu Xiong, take care. Those people are also watching you. Gu Chang'e also waved to say goodbye, responding, thank you for the reminder, Miss Zichen. I wish everyone a safe journey. Gu Chang'e communicated through a whisper with the subordinate beside him, go, keep an eye on her movements. Don't let her find out. The subordinate also reported, yes, young master. Gu Chang'e thought to himself, Ming Kong, this person left hurriedly this morning, she must be heading to the human reincarnation. But such a character is not easy to deal with, and she might suffer. It looks like I need to prepare in advance. Ruanmi walked up to Gu Chang'e and asked, Master, you were right. Tianhuang Mountain did indeed send people to our family to search for traces of Xiao Fan. Gu Chang'e showed a look of already knowing and said, they want to silence him. Unfortunately, they don't know that person has already been. He then turned and left, leaving a sentence, it's getting late, I must return to the sacred hall. You proceed as planned. And tell Tian Huangzi, after attending the Gu family banquet, Xiao Fan suddenly went mad for some unknown reason. Our male lead smugly thought, this way, he will understand that his greatest secret and weakness are in my hands. In front of many people, the subordinate shouted, "Young Master Chang'e has arrived. The Nirvana pool has finally opened." Someone said, "Young Master Chang'e and Miss Siener are both here." Another person commented, "Of course, they are the geniuses of our Gu family." The Nirvana pool is a place where 5 members of each generation from the Gu family come to comprehend the ancestors' path, unlock the bloodline shackles, enhance their cultivation, and master divine powers. As Gu Chang'e explained, Siener crossed her arms and casually said, "I know, no need to say." Gu Chang'e was furious and wanted to roll his eyes at the little girl. The elders shouted, "Everyone is here, follow us into the Nirvana pool." A huge door opened. Inside was another very mysterious space, filled with spiritual energy. Everyone walked into the door and was amazed, saying, "Wow, the energy is so abundant, so mysterious, no wonder it's called the Nirvana pool." Gu Chang'e secretly speculated, "There are rumors that the Nirvana pool can glimpse the future of past lives, I wonder if it's true." Gu Siener thought excitedly, "If I succeed in Nirvana and improve my cultivation, maybe I can defeat Gu Chang'e." But beside her, Gu Chang'e patted Siener's head and said, "You're thinking too much." Siener angrily said, "Huh? How do you know what I'm thinking? Do you have telepathy?" Gu Chang'e replied, "Your head is so big, why would you need telepathy?" The great elder shouted, "All right, stop wasting time, quickly enter the pool." Then, everyone jumped into the pool, shouting, "So comfortable." Gu Siener immediately had an epiphany, and the cold water around her made her even more surprised. The elderly great elder happily said, "Siener truly has extraordinary talent, reacting so quickly." Nearby, an old man with a mole on his face pondered, "Gu Chang'e, his talent is too strong, but it's still unclear what it is. I wonder if something will be revealed this time." The head of the Gu family whispered from behind, "Let's withdraw, don't disturb the children." This startled a few great elders, who then agreed to leave. The Gu family patriarch secretly worried, "I don't know if the Nirvana pool will be a blessing or a curse for you, but your innate demonic heart must never be exposed." In the pool, a red light surrounded Gu Chang'e. After the sacred hall's door closed, inside the Nirvana pool, 5 people formed a star-shaped formation and began cultivating, surrounded by cool water and golden light. Gu Chang'e was very quiet in the space. Although he didn't smoke, our male protagonist was also deep in thought. Although the Nirvana finger is not insignificant, it can only push my current cultivation to the mid-stage of the saint level at best. The Tao bone within Gu Chang'e's body kept flashing with light. Suddenly, the space was filled with the flow of cyan orange and mysterious purple light. Gu Chang'e felt some worry, but the demonic heart within him seemed foolish. Although this won't affect me, the 8 Desolations demon strike feels like something I've known before. Meanwhile, Gu Chang'e's heart was beating violently, and the intense feeling made him alarmed. His eyes glowed with a deep purple light. A new world full of demons appeared before Gu Chang'e, with countless streams of ghostly energy filling the air. The 8 Desolations demon strike grew larger. On top of a high peak, a silver-haired, handsome man stood with an extraordinary demeanor, calmly standing there. When Gu Chang'e saw the man's face, he was shocked and thought, "The demon lord? The Nirvana finger can illuminate past lives, and my past life should have been a transmigrator. Could it be?" It seemed as though he sensed something. After realizing his past life's identity, Gu Chang'e opened his eyes and stared at his palm. The pure power's glow was gradually shattering. He thought, "It seems this time the purpose of entering the Nirvana finger has been fulfilled. As for the benefits of the demonic heart, I can only slowly extract them later." Then, Gu Chang'e looked at Gu Siener, feeling guilty in his heart, "Siener, please don't blame me." The remaining 3 were still continuously cultivating. Suddenly, they felt a strong demonic energy appear, and they shouted anxiously, "What's happening?" The woman looked at Gu Chang'e, secretly shocked. "Young Master Chang'e." The man beside her also shouted, "Young Master, you." Another person responded, "Gu Chang'e, what are you doing? Has the demonic heart erupted?" causing problems with the cultivation. Opposite them, the three people were none other than Gu Changa, who had already turned into the demonic heart. The burst of power was immense, and a sinister smile appeared on his lips. The three, except for Gu Xiener, were extremely worried and said, "What do we do now? The momentum is too strong, we may not be able to handle it. Should we report it to the elders?" The person on the outermost side prepared to take action and said carelessly, "What's there to fear? If the demonic heart erupts, just wake him up." This person was obviously fearless and prepared to take advantage of the situation. Last time, when I wasn't in the clan, he took advantage of the opportunity, but this time. But before he could finish his words, the demonic energy had already flown toward him. Gu Changa only used one finger and shouted. The two people beside him didn't have time to react. The person who had just acted tough immediately spat out blood, crashing into the wall and directly went to the underworld. Gu Changa stood behind the remaining two, dangerously saying, "Is it your turn now?" The couple hadn't had time to act and froze, dumbfounded, saying, "Young Master Gu, we." Then, the two fell to the ground, a large bump appearing on their heads. Gu Changa threw all three to the door of the holy palace, and his body was enveloped in intense demonic energy. Gu Xiener stood up and shouted in shock, "Gu Changa." When he turned his head, Gu Xiener retreated in fear. Is it the brother whose demonic heart has erupted? She thought in terror. When we dug out the Dao bone as children, his expression was just like this. Could it be the same as the secret from back then? Gu Changa was exactly like this back then. When Gu Changa flew toward Gu Xiener, she immediately reacted and dodged to the side. Unfortunately, she dodged too quickly. As a result, she collided with the marble wall behind her, causing a crisp sound from her Dao bone. Gu Xiener thought in fear, no mercy at all. A little blood leaked from the corner of her mouth. Gu Changa, surrounded by demonic energy, slowly walked toward Gu Xiener and said indifferently, "The second Nirvana heavenly bone, I spared your life before, almost causing a disaster. I didn't expect you to bring good fortune to Brother Wei. He said he dug it out, yet still wants me to act." Gu Xiener immediately clasped her hands together and shouted, "Sacred artifact, heavenly Luo scatter." A very strong defensive umbrella appeared in front of her. However, only a few basic iron chain-like demonic forces pierced through the umbrella, shattering it in an instant. Gu Tianji thought in fear, what could easily destroy a sacred artifact? How strong is this person? Gu Changa still wore an extremely fierce expression and shouted loudly, "Don't resist. Hand over your immortal bones, and you'll die more easily." Gu Tianji stood across from him with her hands behind her back, silently chanting a spell, thinking, although continuously activating. Two magic treasures is a bit difficult, I can only use my master's secret treasure now. However, Gu Changa didn't give her a chance. Gu Changa sneered, stretched out his hand full of demonic energy toward Gu Tianji, and shouted loudly, "Still as foolish as before." A formation suddenly appeared behind her, pulling her body toward Gu Changa's hand. The demonic energy said arrogantly, "It's been so long, do you still have any tricks? Don't I know everything about you?" In an instant, Gu Tianji's hands were sealed, unable to move. She thought in despair, so powerful, so cold, there's no way to resist. Am I really going to die in Gu Changa's hands today? No wonder he made me train so well. Sooner or later, I'd become strong enough to defeat him. It turns out everything he did before was for this moment. She closed her eyes tightly, thinking in despair. When he was controlled by demonic energy, he gave me more chances to live. Unfortunately, I still. Gu Changa calmly said, "Your Dao bone, I'm happy to receive it." Gu Tianji sneered, "If you like it, take it." Suddenly, Gu Changa's black eyeballs with purple pupils widened sharply, and his right hand tightly grasped the left hand that held Gu Tianji's hand, shouting loudly, "Get out now." Gu Tianji was released. Gu Changa was sent flying, leaving her surprised and confused, not understanding what happened. "Brother Gu Changa, what happened?" Gu Changa stood on the surface of the water, extremely anxious, shouting loudly, "Don't come near. Two different eye colors appeared on Gu Changa's face again. He gritted his teeth in pain. I can't hurt Tianji. He witnessed everything. Gu Tianji's eyes were filled with tears. On the opposite side, Gu Changa constantly emitted intense demonic energy. She shouted loudly, Brother Gu Changa, wake up. What's happening? Gu Changa shouted loudly in a self-directed act, stop, leaving her stunned, unsure of what to say. Surrounded by demonic energy, Gu Changa tightly gripped his left hand with his right, anxiously and fearfully shouting, don't come near me. Don't get close to me. On the opposite side, Gu Tianji was deeply moved, tears flowing continuously. She asked urgently, what should I do? How can I help you now? Hearing these words, Gu Changa shouted domineeringly, get away. I don't need your help. Stay as far away as possible from me. But Gu Tianji insisted on staying, I won't leave. I can help you, don't you want my Dao bone? The immortal bone after entering nirvana will definitely be useful. She touched her body, and immediately the immortal bone emitted a green light. Gu Tianji said, I'll extract it for you now. But Gu Changa shouted loudly in rationality, get away. Don't you understand? You're useless, hurry up and leave. I don't need the bones of trash. Gu Tianji cried non-stop, shouting, stop deceiving yourself. Gu Changa, you're just a pompous fool. Even now, you're still proud, thinking you can resist by yourself. Gathering all the demonic energy in his left hand, Gu Changa sneered, you fool, if you want to die so easily, I'll grant your wish. At the same time, Gu Changa's eyes turned black, and the demonic energy in his eyes was exceptionally brilliant. Immediately, his demonic nature surged towards Gu Xiener. Just as the hand full of demonic energy was about to grab our little Xiener, Gu Changa rationally stabbed several swords deep into the other hand and spat out a few words, I told you not to touch her. Blood kept flowing out, dripping onto the nirvana pool. Gu Changa was rational, his forehead drenched in sweat, and he said tiredly, why cry? It's so ugly. On the other side, Gu Xiener was overly moved, tears streaming down her face, and Gu Changa's bright eyes immediately widened. He pushed Gu Changa's body away, angrily saying, damn it. If you insist on harming her. Gu Changa used his rational mind to strongly activate the incantation, and the light swords that had deeply penetrated his left hand suddenly lit up. Gu Xiener hurriedly shouted, don't. But immediately, a huge burst of light pushed her far away, causing her to scream in pain. Suddenly, a loud shout came from outside the nirvana pool, no, not good. A beam of light flew by, and even the subordinates were scared out of their wits. Gu Changa's father fortunately arrived in time, catching Gu Xiener and asking with concern, Xiener, are you okay? Gu Xiener widened her eyes, crying as she said, Uncle, I'm fine, look at Gu Changa. In order not to hurt me, he has already disabled one of his hands. Gu Changa's father was secretly shocked when he saw this scene and sighed, saying, don't worry, with his cultivation, this injury is nothing. It's good that you're okay. On the other side, Gu Changa sat there with a defeated expression, his hand constantly being corroded by immortal energy, his mouth full of blood. Gu Xiener hurriedly ran over, holding Gu Changa in her arms, crying and saying, Uncle, it seems. He knew he couldn't suppress his demonic nature all along, that's why he kept forcing me to cultivate. To prevent the demonic nature from coveting my immortal bones. He is clearly a gentle person but uses coldness to disguise himself. Gu Changa's father didn't know what to say and just sighed aside. After performing his act, Gu Changa gently closed his eyes, but Gu Xiener quickly said, I will definitely help you solve this problem. It may be difficult, but I will not abandon you. A notification appeared on the toolbar, received great affection from Gu Xiener, luck value increased by 9800. Transitioning to outside the Gu family, the father and son were walking, and during the conversation, Gu Changa's father asked, what impact did the nirvana pool have on you? Gu Changa replied, it's fine. Now, it's just that Changa was careless, which worried everyone. The head of the Gu family said that. The demonic heart is a potential disaster and has troubled you in recent years. Gu Chang'e immediately responded, Father, don't worry, I have suppressed the demonic heart again, there will be no problem. Gu Tian looked at Gu Chang'e and softly said, this outfit, then mocked, well, this outfit looks very fitting, it was bought with quite a bit of Xiener savings. Looking back at Gu Chang'e, our Gu Chang'e had already changed into a beautiful new outfit. Gu Chang'e smiled and said, that miser is really a rare sight. Gu Tian said, when cultivating, you didn't want to see him, now that you've recovered, you should find a time to explain things to him. Gu Chang'e's expression began to contemplate, and he replied, Father, don't worry, Chang'e knows what to do. In his heart, he thought, after all, acting should be done properly. In Gu Chang'e's great hall, Yan Ji reported from below, I sent many people to secretly protect, but I'm afraid they have already discovered us. Gu Chang'e calmly drank tea and said indifferently, it's fine, I just want them to know that the young master of the Gu family has always cared about them, spending a lot of effort searching secretly. Yan Ji anxiously asked from below, then, Master, why don't you show yourself? Wouldn't that show more sincerity? Gu Chang'e, high above, explained, Yan Ji, you don't understand. The Gu family's ears and eyes are too numerous, making a huge uproar would make people think it's not sincere but has ulterior motives. Yan Ji below nodded, I see. By the way, young master, there's one more thing. The successor of the human clan palace, Prince Qin, and the world's cultivators have described in detail the encounter with the inheritor of the demonic technique. In another scene, Prince Qin was speaking with the world's cultivators, facing the inheritor of the demonic technique, yet not falling behind. The young master of the Gu family is truly remarkable, we really appreciate Gu Xiener's help. He really makes us feel safe, and his strength is unfathomable. The person opposite was also shocked, is it possible that Gu Chang'e is stronger than the saintess? After all, he's the heir of the human ancestor temple. A man, sweating, heavily responded, yes. Prince Kun on the opposite side continued boasting, Brother Gu is impossible to figure out. If we fought 10 times, I'd probably win once and lose 9 times. Upon hearing this, Gu Chang'e angrily crushed the teacup in his hand. He thought in frustration, is Prince Kun real or fake? I need her to make a name for herself. When will those potential candidates stay away from me? Gu Chang'e, with anger on his head, gritted his teeth and snorted, you ruined my plans. I'll remember this debt. Yan Ji, still confused, asked, what do you mean by full of potential candidates? A light flew from the distance toward the Changxing Gu family's gates, shouting loudly, the heir of the human ancestor temple is here. Young Master Chang'e, please take notice. 2 subordinates quickly stopped them, how bold. The heir of the human ancestor temple just left, and you dare impersonate them? Who are you? Immediately, the woman raised a token and loudly said, there is not just one heir of the human ancestor temple today. The subordinates, upon seeing the token, had to carefully inspect it. Human ancestor temple, please stop for a moment. I'll notify the young master. The mysterious woman was secretly worried, thinking, when I used a secret method to search for Yi Ling's location in the ancient Yi clan, I was shocked to find that Yi Ling was already dead. It seems that the ancient rumors cannot be fully trusted. What on earth happened? Gu Chang'e, how many secrets are you hiding? A moment later, a subordinate quickly ran in to report, the young master has prepared a banquet in the heirs' hall, please proceed. The remaining subordinates secretly thought, this heir is even more beautiful than the Changxing king. The mysterious woman, though calm, must have something on her mind. Things may become troublesome. However, even if Gu Chang'e really has a problem, he wouldn't easily make a move against me. If the heir of the human ancestor temple were in trouble, he wouldn't be foolish enough to self-immolate. The scene shifted to the Changxing Gu family's main hall. Gu Chang'e had been waiting inside and called out, I didn't know the saintess would visit. I didn't greet you personally, but the food and drinks are ready. Please take a seat, Saintess. The woman walked in without saying a word. She thought to herself, clearly, it's fine wine and delicacies. But why do I feel like I've entered a demon's lair? Could Gu Changa really be a demon lord? Gu Changa warmly greeted the saintess. I hope you don't mind coming such a long way. May I ask what brings you here? A beautiful girl in a white robe cupped her hands and bowed. Gu Changa, Jiang Chu Chu of the Human Ancestor Temple greets young Master Changa. Gu Changa secretly admired the girl. Under my pressure, she remains calm and composed, with a long breath. She indeed has extraordinary talent. It seems the cultivators related to the Human Ancestor Temple are not simple figures. Chu Chu, such a beautiful name, and indeed, she is as captivating as her name suggests. Looking at her was heart-wrenching. Chu Chu shyly said, young Master Gu is joking. I heard that young Master Changa once fought against Yiling, the inheritor of the demonic arts. I have some doubts, so I came here to inquire about the details. On the surface, Chu Chu appeared elegant, but in her heart, she thought, this is my unique reverse flow divine technique, it needs some time. Gu Changa, let's see your true face. Gu Changa, surprised, asked, details. Does Saintess Chu Chu still want to hunt down Yiling? Unfortunately, he's already dead. No, didn't you know? Chu Chu wondered, her tone reflecting disbelief. Gu Changa must know that Yiling is dead. This person has issues. But why is he saying it directly now? She still pretended not to understand and asked, what do you mean, young Master Changa? Outside, everyone says Yiling went missing. Why can't I understand? Huh, it's fine. It doesn't matter if you don't understand. You'll understand in time. Come, let me toast you. Chu Chu broke into a sweat, thinking she had succeeded. How many sources and physiques has Gu Changa consumed? Could he be related to the inheritor of the demonic arts? Is he actually the inheritor? I can't tell the depth of his strength at all. Gu Changa held the wine glass, his face displeased, and asked, what's wrong, Saintess Chu Chu? Afraid I'll poison your drink? Having devoured numerous origins and physiques, he is the heir of the demonic arts, impossible to see through this person's depth. Soa Soa was holding a wine cup, not knowing whether intentionally or unintentionally, the cup fell to the ground. Gu Changa saw this and gently said, Soa Soa Saintess, you look unwell. I was just joking earlier, there's no need to take it to heart. Soa Soa forcibly adjusted her mood and said, sorry, I lost control just now. However, thank you, young Master Changa, for your concern. It would be better to refrain from such jokes in the future. The sudden interruption, I hope the young master can forgive me generously. If you say that Yiling is dead, I will go to look for clues at his place. Goodbye. As she walked, she thought to herself, I need to find a way to expose Gu Changa's true identity as soon as possible, or else it will bring untold disasters. Gu Changa looked at the back of the woman and said, the ghosts have arrived, don't leave now. Soa Soa immediately had a big question mark in her mind. After all, I am the saintess, what do you plan to do, Gu Changa? Before she could finish, countless small purple hands reached out from behind, holding her peach and holding her pomelo. Some hands covered her mouth to stop her from speaking, and some held her waist. Soa Soa was completely controlled, unable to escape. Gu Changa said, as expected, you're a fool, coming to me on your own. Your silly acting, I'm afraid, couldn't fool even Sienna. Gu Changa turned and asked the red-dressed beauty behind him, how's the simulated breathing? The beauty replied, the secret method given by the young master is indeed wonderful and can probe everything. With the help of the secret treasure, I can already simulate up to 80 or 90%. Gu Changa nodded in satisfaction, good. That's it, the next heir of the Ancestors' Hall will be you. The beauty still had some concerns, but young master, can I really deceive the people from the human race's Ancestors' Hall? Moreover, Jiang Soa Soa's clothes are not ordinary and are hard to change. Gu Changa advised, don't think too much, no need to go back to the human race's Ancestors' Hall. You just Need to walk outside. However, Yenjia, you have a gentle personality and no sharpness. I'm afraid you might be discovered by Prince Kan's group, so pay more attention to your expression. As for the clothes, it's not difficult. Yes. Yenjia admired the young master. Well read, I didn't expect you even understand acting. Trapped in a magical treasure space by Gu Chang'e, she tried all kinds of methods to affect this space, but the Tao imprint didn't even suffer the slightest damage. Soa speculated, he dares not kill me and didn't use the Chongqing Gu family's power, but trapped me in this world. It seems the Gu family doesn't know what he really is. Soa Saintus is indeed smart, I didn't expect you to see through it. Upon hearing the voice, she was startled, turned around, and saw Gu Chang'e had somehow floated behind her. Gu Chang'e continued, stop wasting your efforts. Unless I release you, you will die old here for the rest of your life. Soa threw a hidden weapon at Gu Chang'e. If I can't break the barrier of this space, I'll kill you, and then I can leave. Gu Chang'e easily caught the hidden weapon Soa threw with 2 fingers and sneered, who gave you this much confidence? She still didn't give up, jumping up and sending a series of palm strikes at Gu Chang'e, destroy the Tao Heaven Seal, give me the reincarnation divine art. Gu Chang'e casually waved his hand, and Soa was sent flying 10 meters, spitting out blood as she wiped her mouth. Your cultivation is at least above the saint level. Gu Chang'e, you really hide your strength well. Gu Chang'e gently walked up to Soa and said, do you understand the gap between us now? Give up your spirit, let me mark you with a slave imprint, so you won't suffer physical pain anymore. Soa refused to submit and mocked, I, the heir of the human ancestors' hall, how could I submit to you? She shouted loudly, and at the same time, the dark energy on her forehead glowed, purple light flickering, enveloping the entire space. Gu Chang'e trembled when he saw this scene, thinking, is this a corner of the human race? Even if I risk my life and perish with the heavens, I will not hand it over to you. Do whatever you want. At this point, Gu Chang'e had no choice but to take out his Fang Tian Huoji to handle the situation. He threw a punch, immediately breaking through Soa's move. She spat out fresh blood and fell backwards. Moments later, Soa was suspended in the air by Gu Chang'e with a purple iron chain. Gu Chang'e approached and said, in my world, isn't your life controlled by me? Now, hand over the human race token. Although she was very weak by now, she still insisted, Gu Chang'e, don't even think about it. The human race token is extremely important. I will never serve the enemy. Do whatever you wish. Gu Chang'e was no fool, he quickly realized the scheme. Soa, you're smart. Killing you will make the human race temple notice, and I will get into trouble. But there are things more troublesome than your death. He said, reaching out to undo Soa's clothes, revealing her perfect chest. Soa panicked, Gu Chang'e. What are you doing? Gu Chang'e smiled slyly, what am I doing? If you don't drink this cup of wine, then naturally, I must punish you. Soa cried, no, let go of me. Gu Chang'e, you're shameless. Humph, you're overpraising me. Then, Soa's clothes were completely removed. Back in the hall, Gu Chang'e handed over the items he had just taken to Yan Ji, saying, the human race token and the clothes are inside. This time, your disguise has no flaws. Yan Ji asked with concern, young master, have you dealt with the saintess of the human race temple? Gu Chang'e grinned, how could that be? Killing people at every turn. Besides, she's so beautiful, and her figure is so good. If I dealt with her, wouldn't that be wasting a heavenly gift? Gu Chang'e held a list of crimes, which included, the Immortal Lake, the Yogu Tribe, Zhuke, Fire Path, Purple Qilin, Golden, Young Master. Of the Gulin clan, Lin Tianxian, Yuan clan, Li Cixi, Lia Yang Jin Wuao, and Kuan Yen sect, Young Sect Master. After reading the list, Gu Chang'e sighed, Ming Kong actually kept such a strange list, all people with no fame. Ming Kong may not be sentimental. But for now, the Heavenly Prince is carrying the blame for me. In the short term, they will definitely not be able to clear their names, so there's no need to rush to deal with them. Right now, I still need to find the reincarnation of the human race. Gu Chang'e asked the man kneeling on the ground, Ming Lao, how is Chilhan doing recently? Ming Lao hurriedly replied, young Master, Chilhan is currently considered the future sect master and is being cultivated at the Purple Extreme Pill sect. Her knowledge of pill arts is more profound than her peers. Gu Chang'e praised, oh, not bad. This hasn't disappointed me. Ming Lao hesitated for a moment, not daring to speak. Gu Chang'e saw this and encouraged, Ming Lao, if you have something to say, just say it. I don't like to beat around the bush with my own people. Ming Lao bent down and respectfully replied, Chilhan still misses the young master very much. May I ask when we can meet? Chilhan, I know this is sudden, but it's just right for me to visit her before going to the lower realm. Yes, young master. Ming Lao joyfully thanked and then retreated. The scene shifted to Xian Ni's residence. Xian Ni greeted the elders of the various clans, which made them very worried. The elders gently helped Xian Ni up, alright, Xian Ni, you've worked hard these years. Please stand up. But she still politely replied. Xian Ni isn't tired. Jade can't be made into a vessel without being cut. These years have been Xian Ni's training. An old lady sighed, alas, if it weren't for that bastard Gu Chang'e, how would you have suffered so much? Xian Ni quickly ran over and hugged the old lady's hand, smiling and acting coquettishly, clan elder, he was ignorant back then, but now he knows his mistakes. Let's forgive him. The old lady smiled, if you don't take it to heart, then I have nothing more to say. While they were talking and laughing, a servant rushed in to report, greetings, clan elder, Miss Xian Ni. There is news about the position of the clan leader. Sienna shouted, Father. Mother. The servant clasped his hands and reported, there should be no mistake, but the source of this information is undetermined. Sienna murmured, undetermined. Then, a face flashed through her memory, and she smiled slightly, it must have been him. He clearly cares about me but pretends not to admit it. Sigh, big brother is truly heart-wrenching. The elders saw Sienna's sudden change in expression, all with questioning looks, not knowing what had happened. Sienna hurriedly ordered, gather the people, and immediately set off to find my parents. The scene shifts to the sacred land. At this time, Yen Ji had already disguised herself as Chu Chu, performing convincingly. The maid lowered her head and asked, Chu Chu Saintess, has there been any progress with the Gu family? Chu Chu praised, young Master Chang'e cares about the world and lives a life of virtue. He is doing his utmost to fight against the successor of the demonic arts. I should not doubt him. If there's no issue with the Gu family, then the clue has been cut off. Should we search for the reincarnation of the human ancestors? No need. The reincarnation of the human ancestors will return sooner or later, and we cannot interfere too much. It may disrupt their fate. At this moment, pretending to be Chu Chu, she recalled past memories. The successor of the demonic arts, I never imagined following that world-shaking demon. Having failed in crossing the sea, life is indeed unpredictable. Speaking of which, Yi Chen was also involved in the young master's plot at that time, but that had nothing to do with me. She recalled the scenes of Gu Chang'e carefully taking care of her, giving her medicinal herbs to replenish her. His warm voice, Yen Shi, if there's any problem with your cultivation or lack of resources, feel free to tell me. She smiled happily, feeling that being cared for wasn't bad. The memory ended, and she commanded the maid beside her, the clue to the successor of the demonic arts has not been cut off. Go to Tianhuang Mountain. Bang! The blonde youth angrily slapped the table, mad. That guy. Why is he going to the Eternal Life Gu family with Ruanmi? Mad. I want to see him alive or his corpse if he's dead. Dead. That person. Why is he going to the Eternal Life Gu family with Ruanmi? I want to see him alive or his corpse if he's dead. If he's dead, then he should return to the Nine-Tailed Fox clan. That person who disappeared suddenly, the Gu family. He gritted his teeth. Could Gu Changa be that useless person? Did he find out my secret? Otherwise, no one will pave the way for you in the future. Ruwanmi will be heartbroken. I can't believe you dared to make Ruwanmi heartbroken. Gu Changa, you truly deserve to die. I wonder if Dan Yu has seen him. At Gu Changa's residence, a loud shout rang out, Tianhuang Mountain, Dan Yu requests to see young Master Changa. The guard hurriedly report, the young master is currently in seclusion and breaking through. No visitors are allowed. Please leave. The maid recalled Gu Changa's instructions. He's in seclusion preparing for a breakthrough, and outsiders cannot visit. I truly admire our young master, he's indeed very charming. This isn't just a saintess, but a princess. Dan Yu frowned, in seclusion. Then I'll wait here until he finishes his breakthrough. With that, the princess sat down, adopting an arrogant posture. The guard was a bit hesitant. This may not be appropriate. Dan Yu crossed her arms and sneered, what's inappropriate? Back then, he splashed dirty water on Tianhuang Mountain. Did you like that? Was that appropriate? For my brother, I must seek justice. Before coming here, Dan Yu had visited her brother. Brother, in the end, did you make up your mind to go confront that Gu Changa with me? The blonde brother replied. No, I'm just worried about you. I always felt that Gu Changa was not a good person. Be careful when you go to deal with the rumors, said Dan Yu, feeling confused. Brother, what's wrong with you? Why are your hands and feet trembling? Why are you afraid to clear your name? What are you really scared of? Clearly, you are the successor of Tianhuang Mountain, the one who makes others revere you, the son that father values. You used to be cautious, but you would never let anyone insult you like this. I am really disappointed in you, brother. You're completely different from before. The blonde youth explained in pain, Dan Yu, it's actually not what you think. I have my own reasons. What reasons? Dan Yu asked in confusion, hurrying to inquire. The blonde youth lowered his head and sighed, I lost part of my memory due to a mistake during cultivation. I tried many methods to restore it, but none of them worked. So I can't understand the rumors. Dan Yu covered her mouth, her eyes welling with tears. How could you cry? So it was. She threw herself into her brother's arms. Why are you so foolish, brother? Why didn't you tell me sooner? I didn't want you to worry. Dan Yu replied firmly, I have a plan, brother. Don't worry about it. Leave the matter of clearing your name to me. Thank you for your hard work. After seeing his sister leave, the blonde youth's expression changed 180 degrees, turning faster than before. You really worked hard to investigate Gu Changa's whereabouts. My sister is so foolish. In the lower realm, in the heavenly god realm, Hongyu, this is the lower realm from the memory of our ancestors. Right now, I only know the name of the reincarnated person. A beautiful black-haired woman burned a talisman and resolutely said, I must find you as soon as possible. At the Purple Extreme Pill sect, the sect master spoke, how has Changa's little sect master been lately? There has been quite a lot of commotion recently. I'm here for my disciple Tu Han. Changa happily replied, ha ha ha, sect master Xian, you're too kind. I owe much to your nurturing. During this time and the care you've shown for my disciple Tu Han. The little sect master smiled and said, you're too kind. Tu Han is the successor of the Purple Extreme Pill sect, and it's only right to care for and cultivate him. Ha, sect master Xian is right. Tu Han and the other junior sisters are whispering outside. Tu Han is the little sect master of Gu Changa, famous in the immortal world. How is he related to him? The little sect master is so kind, powerful, and handsome, who? Gu Changa looked at Tu Han and said, Tu Han, keep working hard. Don't let the sect master down. Do you hear me? Tu Han smiled brightly and replied, yes, Tu Han will follow young master's orders. She thought to herself, so kind, young master is really good to me. The scene shifted to evening, where Gu Chang'e and Tu Han were walking on a bridge. Gu Chang'e spoke, I actually have something to entrust to you this time. Chang'e took out a letter and handed it to her, saying, you used to underestimate yourself, always worried. You couldn't help. Now I'm entrusting you with something, to give you a chance to show yourself. Tu Han opened the letter and read it, her eyes showing some concern. Purple Extreme Immortal Pill, Ancient Pill. I've never heard of it, unless I make it myself, but it looks like there's nothing special about it. Tu Han sighed, rare chance for young master to entrust me with something, I'll handle these small matters. Chang'e looked at her with a gentle gaze and said softly, such a big tone, don't let me down. Then he leaned in and gently touched her head, continuing, Tu Han, don't underestimate this ancient pill. It's much more complicated than you think. But I believe in you, you can do it. At that moment, Tu Han's mind definitely soared into the sky, and her luck value skyrocketed to 5,000. Tu Han understands, please rest assured, young master. Tu Han linked arms with Gu Chang'e, and they walked slowly on the stone bridge, the surrounding scenery peaceful and hearts in turmoil. By the way, young master, could you tell me some interesting stories from your time in the immortal ancient land? Chang'e, also happily speaking non-stop, replied, interesting stories. I encountered a silly dragon, a silly bird, a silly person, oh, and a silly shrimp, Is there such a thing as a silly shrimp? The two continued walking. The scene shifted to the outside of the grand hall, where a subordinate rushed in to report, Princess Master, it's bad. What's with the panic? Take your time and speak. Report, just received news from the intelligence base, no, according to the deduction, the legendary Yin Ju Tian has appeared in the mortal realm. Today, major sects are discussing countermeasures. She broke into a cold sweat upon hearing this, what? Yin Ju Tian. The greatest disaster descending to the mortal realm, can no one escape? Is there any other news? Report, there's also a human saintess who has stayed in front of Tianhuang Mountain for a long time, leaving an unidentified mark. It's rumored that Tianhuang Mountain is related to the heir of the demon art. She was so angry that she almost died, suddenly standing up and gritting her teeth, what? Human clan hall. Damn. My brother is innocent, why are they targeting him like this? I will come back after we return to Tianhuang Mountain and check if Gu Chang'e's feelings have been affected. Gu Chang'e, you can never escape me. We will meet again. The scene changes to the lower realm, on a mountaintop, a beam of light shot straight into the sky. Gu Chang'e slowly descended to the ground and, after finding the place, his breath surged into his mind. Although this realm isn't bad, it is affected by the barrier space. Cultivating someone beyond the great Saint realm is extremely difficult. If I hadn't followed the spatial imprint to Minkong, I wouldn't have thought that the reincarnation of the human clan hall would come out from this lower realm. A smug expression appeared on his face. The immediate priority was to gather information about this world and then find Minkong's location from afar. Many Taoists were heading towards Gu Chang'e's location. This person emitted a special aura, definitely someone important, not from the lower realm. A respectful person cupped his fists and said, may I ask, immortal, is there something you need to do in this lower realm? Is this the kingdom of immortals? Yes, reporting to the immortal. Qin Jun took out a ball and smiled sinisterly, tell me the information about this kingdom, and I will give you a gift. A group of cultivators looked at it in panic and glanced at each other. This is the legendary holy artifact, isn't it? The commoners were shocked as they had never seen a holy artifact before. Reporting to the immortal realm is divided into 8 realms, a vast place with countless tribes, holy lands, and mountains. There are many forces here, some of which have existed for hundreds of years, with the most powerful being the Tai Su sect. Gu Chang'e pondered, alright, for now, let's make peace with the Tai Su sect. To be honest, I am an old friend of your ancestors, and I still owe him a favor. Meeting a descendant today is also fate. A group of cultivators were greatly shocked upon hearing this, quickly cupping their fists and bowing, we hope the immortal does not blame us. Such a precious holy artifact is not something small people like us deserve, and since we are friends with the ancestors, we dare not disrespect you. Gu Changa stroked his beard thoughtfully. These people can resist the temptation of the holy artifact, they are truly admirable. Alright, take me to the Tai Su sect. Yes, immortal. The scene switches. A subordinate reports, Soa Wang Xianyu, there is news. It is said that a big shot from the upper realm has descended, and he has some connection with the ancestor of Tai Su sect. After hearing this, she suddenly thought, the kingdom of heavenly gods is in a distant place. It's not easy to find the ancestor of Tai Su sect. Could it be? She said, don't worry about it, pay attention to the kingdom of heavenly gods, because nirvana can help the ancestors of humans with transformation. The scene switches to Tai Su sect, where all disciples have gathered in front of the main hall. There were whispers everywhere as it was the first time they had seen an immortal descend. An elder respectfully greeted, I am the sect master of Tai Su sect. May I ask the esteemed immortal's name? Gu Changa pondered and answered, who I am is not important. I came today to repay the kindness of Grandmaster Soa. Saying this, he took out a book. This is the Tao method that Grandmaster Soa and I researched over many years. As soon as he finished speaking, he threw the book to the sect master. Since your Grandmaster Soa cannot descend, I will teach you this Tao method on his behalf. The sect master was overjoyed and quickly flipped through every page. Wonderful. This Tao method is mysterious and profound, truly eye-opening, and is a brand new approach, containing countless secrets. In an instant, all the elders and disciples knelt and bowed. Thank you, immortal, for your guidance. From now on, we will devote ourselves to serving the immortal. Gu Changa stroked his beard and smiled smugly, everything is going according to plan, without deviation. Now, I have to continue my performance. At this moment, Gu Changa entered the secret realm and met Jiang Sesu. She was only draped in a white cloth covering her body. Gu Changa called out, open your eyes and look at me. Jiang Sesu ignored him, snorting coldly, oh, still so stubborn. Gu Changa then used chains to hang Jiang Sesu up. Jiang Sesu angrily shouted, Gu Changa, what do you want to do? You despicable demon. Gu Changa laughed lightly, Miss Sesu, quickly tell me the exact location of the human clan hall's reincarnation. I don't know. Jiang Sesu turned her face away from him. Gu Changa walked closer and questioned, as the successor of the human clan hall, you don't know. Even if you knew, what difference would it make? In the vast sea of people, it doesn't matter. Wait. Jiang Sesu widened her eyes, have you already found his reincarnation place? Gu Changa shamelessly bragged, of course, not only have I found it, but we are standing here right now. After hearing this, Jiang Sesu hesitated, but still warned, Gu Changa, the reincarnation methods of the human clan hall far exceed your imagination, and you cannot defeat him. Changa chuckled lightly, reaching out to stroke Jiang Suasua's face, saying, can't defeat me? Should I just wait for him to come kill me? Why are you so cold-hearted, not recognizing me as a man once I put on clothes? Suasua blushed at his touch. She shouted in embarrassment, you're shameless. Then she bared her teeth as if to bite, but Changa had already withdrawn his hand in time. Seeing this, he decided to play with her for a while. The two of them played together like master and little dog. After a while, unable to do anything, Changa kept stroking her face, making Suasua's face turn redder, almost on the verge of tears. Changa stopped and sighed, I really don't know what kind of soul-altering drug the Ancestor Hall gave you. You willingly became their puppet. Puppet? These seemingly casual words made Jiang Suasua feel a bit shaken. Thinking back to the past, she remembered the days she Trained with Prince Qin, ah, so annoying. Training every day. I still have to get married. What are you doing? Sit down quickly. This is disrespectful to the ancestor hall. Humph, I'm going to sleep. Just sleep. I won't be your tool. Prince Qin, come back. Suasua suddenly woke up and shouted to Chang'e, I am not a tool. I am a descendant of the ancestor hall. Protecting all living beings and upholding justice is my mission. Chang'e laughed loudly, ha ha ha. Ridiculous. What are you laughing at? Chang'e stopped laughing and seriously explained, the victor is king, and the loser is a bandit. Since ancient times, those with the strongest fists are the righteous ones. Do you think the ancestor hall is able to inherit it today because of their kindness? Moreover, even killing me is something they cannot do, yet they dare talk about justice? You're merely a tool used by the ancestor hall to restrain me, no different from a running dog. Right or wrong, at most, you're just a dog, unable to even bite me. After speaking, Chang'e turned and left. There are so many people doing bad things in this world, why don't you go kill them? You only know how to focus on those who inherit the demonic arts, but you don't care about justice. The truth is, it's just because I pose a threat to them. As Chang'e left, he left behind a final sentence, in the end, you and I are essentially no different. At this point, the iron chains were also undone. Jiang Suasua fell to the ground, thinking to herself, Chang'e's words are truly twisted. It's not like that at all. The scene shifted to the Xian domain Tianlin sacred land, where the disciples were discussing, did you hear? Tai Su sect issued an order. They said the Xian domain needs to be unified. I heard. Our holy master is discussing strategies with the elders. I also heard that the immortal from above has some connection with old Su Taizu. A short-haired disciple spoke up, strategies. The immortal can bestow sacred artifacts with just a wave of his hand. What strategies can those insignificant people have? If Tai Su sect wants to unify, no force in the Xian domain can resist. It's better to surrender quickly, that's the way to survive. Now, Tai Su sect has announced that those with extraordinary talent can gain the immortal's recognition. The smart birds will choose the right trees to perch on, staying in Tianlin probably isn't a good plan. At this time, he had gone to meet the immortal he revered. Greetings, immortal, I am the most talented young man in Tianlin sacred land. Chang'e stood from above, looking down at the young man kneeling on the ground. You do have talent, a good seed. It seems you weren't joking when you recommended yourself. But you're still far from enough. Looks like I still need to go out for a bit. He asked in confusion, immortal, what do you mean by far from enough? Chang'e looked at him with a very strange gaze. What I mean is that your luck is truly incomparable to the reincarnated ones of the ancestor hall. The fate of the lower realms simply can't compare to the upper realms. Your luck doesn't affect me at all, stop being stubborn. The scene shifted to the divine realm's Tian domain. A group of slaves were working here, and the sound of guards shouting rang out, hurry up and work. Who dares to stop, trash? The person being beaten kept begging for mercy. Now I've caught another group of slaves. This achievement will surely be remembered by the sect leader. Huh, said a youth with green hair, named Qingui. Two disciples respectfully replied, of course, please. Rest assured, Qingui brother. But it's really impressive that Qingui brother was promoted to an elder so quickly, just under 100 years after joining the immortal Wilk sacred land. Qingui was pleased by these compliments and drooled. He laughed loudly, it's been 200,000 years since anyone ascended in the divine realm. When we enter the immortal path, we'll see. The two disciples continued flattering him, Qingui brother will surely have a chance to ascend to the upper realms. With your immortal appearance, it's obvious that your future is limitless. Qingui crossed his arms and spoke, not just me, you all need to hurry up and cultivate if you want a chance. The sect leaders. Judgment will not be wrong. Now is the best time for us to ascend. Even if the heavens try to stop us, so what? We must follow our destiny. Meet immortals, kill immortals, meet demons, kill demons. We will conquer heaven and earth and enter the immortal path. Chingue's gaze suddenly focused on someone. Who is that white-haired person over there? One of the disciples explained, that's the kid. He's really lucky. Several groups of people have already died in hard labor. At first, he came from a small village. His physique is special, his blood is stronger than others. I thought he was a genius, but he turned out to be a waste. After bringing him to the sacred land, we found out he was cursed, and his sacred body was lost. Even if we replenish his resources, he can't cultivate, but his strength is amazing. No wonder he's survived until now. Down below, the white-haired youth was swinging a huge axe in the mine, encouraging himself, I absolutely can't die here. I need to go back to the village. My sister is still young, she can't live without me. 3 years have passed, she's grown up, she needs me to take care of her. That person said as long as I cultivate for 3 years, I can leave. Now there are still 103 days until 3 years are up. After speaking, the white-haired youth collapsed to the ground, out of breath. Why? As long as you accept my existence, you won't have to endure this pain anymore. A voice rang out unconsciously. The white-haired youth was startled at the sight. Who am I? What kind of monster are you? Stay away from my body. But the voice continued to ring out, and a shadow appeared, a blurry figure of a white-haired person. This is my body. You're just an awareness before my awakening. I simply didn't want to erase you. If you accept me, that would be good. I can fulfill all your wishes. Taking care of your sister and mother is a small matter. The owner of the voice spoke, of course, it's different. You voluntarily accepted and were erased by me, which makes it fundamentally different. The young man in white nodded confidently, I don't know what principles are, I just know that if I'm not here, it will be very sad that day. I know you're not simple, but I will never easily hand my body over to you. You're really stubborn, the voice continued, but on the other hand, you're a sentimental and righteous young man. However, this body cannot let you waste too much time. The young man with white hair firmly said, I won't give up. The scene switched to Gu Changa, who was standing on a vast piece of land. Is this the heavenly domain? The system prompted, starting the luck of the child task line, reincarnation stream. A huge peach tree appeared on the screen. Gu Changa pondered, reincarnation stream. Looks like it's really here. It seems this mysterious peach tree and this little girl are connected to the human race. As for whether it's true, it still needs to be confirmed. The scene changed to Beishan village. A little girl was asking an elderly woman next to her, Grandma, my brother hasn't come back for almost 3 years. Does Grandma think he's forgotten about me? The old woman gently patted her granddaughter's head and comforted her, your brother, even if he forgets everyone, will never forget about you. Don't worry, Tian. When your brother returns after finishing his training, he will surely become a practitioner who can fly and escape the earth. By then, he can fly with you to every place every day. Little Tian immediately cheered up, Tian will fly with brother the practitioner. The old woman thought of the black man and continued, the person who took your brother away came from the immortal Will's sacred land. He said your brother's physique is 1 in 1,000, and he will be highly trained by the sect. He must be busy with cultivation, that's why he hasn't had time to come back to visit us. Tian, don't worry. I believe brother. He is the most powerful person in the world. At that moment, a sudden scream was heard. Not good. It's Lu Bandit. Lu Bandit is coming towards the village. An old man angrily said, these fickle bandits. Didn't we just give them spirit stones? Tian was scared and said, "Grandma, Lu Bandit is here again." Tian, Grandma is here, don't be afraid." Seeing a group of fierce bandits riding horses coming, the villagers panicked. "What do we do? What do we do?" "It's the Black Wind Bandits. This time, it's the Black Wind Bandits. The Black Wind Bandits are brutal and bloodthirsty, we can't resist at all. What should we do now? I heard their leader is a godlike, high and mighty existence. I also heard that the leader of the Black Wind Bandits likes to eat little girls, so they have been looking for them everywhere recently." The Black Wind Bandits soon arrived. One of the leaders walked up to the villagers and asked, "Who is the village chief? Come out." An old man, leaning on his cane, trembling, replied, This old man is the village chief of Beishan Village. I have met you, sirs." The leader touched the village chief's sweaty face and ordered, "Old man, our great leader has ordered that all girls under 15 must be offered. Anyone who resists will be killed without mercy." After he finished speaking, his followers entered each household, forcibly dragging the young girls away. The cries echoed throughout the village, "This is my child. Mother, mother, save me. Return my child. You beasts. Why are you taking my child?" One of the bandits threatened, "Let go. Do you want to die?" The mother angrily shouted, "You will die without a clear death. Even if I become a ghost, I won't spare you. You damn old woman." After saying that, the bandit slapped the mother hard. The leader saw this scene and walked over with a sword. Never seen someone who doesn't cry until the coffin is in front of them, right? "If you want to die, let me help you." After speaking, he raised his sword and swung it at the poor mother. The villagers were terrified and couldn't make a sound. The bandit wiped his mouth and said, "If there's any more resistance, she will be the best example." Then, he noticed a cute little girl still hiding behind an old woman. The girl was Tian. The bandit walked over, "Oh, there's another one." The villagers worriedly shouted, "Grandma MANHWA." The bandit walked over, holding a knife, and threatened the two old women, "Old woman, hand over the little girl. Behind you. Otherwise, I'll chop you into pieces and feed you to my mount." Tian trembled and hid in her grandmother's arms, crying, "Grandma." The old woman, unafraid of the bandit's threat, calmly replied, "I didn't want to act, but you really want to harm Tian. Looks like we have to find another place to hide." Reporting, "Sir, these are all the under 15 girls captured from the surrounding villages, for you to see. Please see if you are satisfied." Gu Changa walked forward and saw these girls. Each girl had a number on her body. Not finding the number he needed, Gu Changa sighed, "Did I guess wrong? The location doesn't work. Let them go, don't harm their lives." The bandit was surprised, let them go? What? Are you feeling a bit sorry?" Gu Changa glanced at him. "I also have a younger sister who hasn't grown up." Upon hearing this, the bandit immediately understood. Yes, please rest assured, sir, I will make sure to send them back safely." Seeing that the bandit was still lingering, Gu Changa asked, "Do you have anything else to say?" "Sir, it's just something. Our people sent to Beishan village have been killed by a Wind King realm cultivator. It's strange, though, such a remote place." Gu Changa's eyes flashed, "Oh, Wind King realm. Looks like we found the place." The bandit clasped his hands together, "Rest assured, sir. This time, I will personally take action. A Wind King realm is nothing, it will be easy." Gu Changa waved his hand, "No need, for now, you don't need to handle it. Just wait for the order." Yes, sir." On the surface, he agreed very obediently, but inside, the bandit sneered while looking at Gu Changa's back, "Wait until I reach the God King realm." Suddenly, Gu Changa stopped and said, "You." The bandit nearly wet his pants, quickly replying, "Sir, is there anything else you need?" I will definitely cooperate. Gu Changa nodded, once this is done, you will be free. The bandit knelt on the ground, sweating profusely. What does the sir plan to do? Gu Changa coldly replied, I want you. The bandit trembled and asked, does sir want Beishan village wiped out? Gu Changa confirmed, yes, I want you to erase the entire village. In Beishan village, the old woman was about to leave with Tian Tian. A villager asked worriedly, Grandma, what are you going to do? If you leave, what will we do? Another person echoed, yes. The Black Wind bandits are cruel and vicious. If you leave, Grandma, what will we do? Tian Tian grabbed the old woman's hand and asked, Grandma, will brother come to save us? Brother went to the sacred land to cultivate, he must be very powerful now. The old woman thought for a moment and replied, everyone should escape quickly. My cultivation is only at the Wind King realm. I heard their leader has already reached the God realm, I can't help much. Everyone was confused and looked at each other, saying, this matter. In this world, we don't even know where to run if we want to escape. Yeah, is there really no other way? Suddenly, dark clouds gathered, and 3 figures appeared in the sky. One person laughed loudly, want to escape? It's too late. A small village in Beishan dares to disobey me. No one will leave here alive today. The villagers were terrified and shouted, that's the leader of Hafen village. We're done for. Silver Flower Granny, please save us. One of the 3 spoke, old woman, did you kill my people? Silver Flower Granny calmly replied, it's because he deserved to die. Silver Flower Granny thought to herself, damn it, the other 2 are at least in the Wind King realm. In this situation, I have no choice but to burn my own blood essence and send Tianqing to a safe place. The leader sneered, old woman, you're about to die, and you're still so arrogant. He infused spiritual power into his hand and punched down, you will all accompany me to the grave. Silver Flower Granny jumped up to fight back, growling, you're truly delusional. However, Silver Flower Granny was no match and was struck so hard that she vomited blood and staggered back. The leader sneered, a mere Wind King realm character dares to clash with me. Everyone watching was very worried. Tianqing ran over, shouting, Granny, are you okay? Silver Flower Granny's face turned pale, and she coughed a few times, instructing, Tianqing, run. This person is too powerful for us to resist. Oh, you're still alive. Then try this second move. He continued, his tone full of malice, I'll let you die together, so you won't be lonely down there. Everyone was so frightened they knelt to the ground. A villager choked with sobs, we're done for, our mortal lives are just trampled upon. My son is only 7 years old. Oh God, is there no justice? In the sky, a handprint filled with dense black energy shot down, full of killing intent. Tianqing saw this and immediately stood in front of Silver Flower Granny, shouting, I won't let you hurt Granny. Silver Flower Granny, frightened, screamed, Tianqing, run. The villain smirked, I don't even know why the master wants to deal with you. Originally, I just wanted to catch a few young girls. It's all because of you, old woman. Go down and accompany me to the grave. He was about to make his move, but suddenly, a deep voice came from behind, I really can't just stand by. You actually dare to bully such a lovely girl. A figure appeared, exuding an extraordinary aura. The villain's face turned pale, cold sweat dripping, as he seemed to realize something. A brilliant light shot out, enveloping the entire sky. The villain stammered, that isn't. But before he could finish, he felt his body stiffen, and his thoughts grew dull. At that moment, everyone around stood still, not understanding what was happening. The person was Gu Changa. He looked at Tianqing inside, a pure, clear, flawless heart. A talent. Like this, no one has discovered it for so many years. Truly, it's a bargain for me. Silver Flower Granny was grateful, lowering her head, saying, thank you, immortal, for your help. I am deeply thankful. Chang'e smiled and looked at Tianqing. Little girl, would you like to take me as your master? Tianqing was surprised. Immortal brother wants to take Tianqing as a disciple. But they said I can't cultivate. The previous cultivators who took my brother away also said that Tianqing is just an ordinary person. Gu Chang'e laughed loudly. That's because they're blind. What do mere mortals know? Tianqing, hearing this, joyfully said, really? Immortal brother won't lie to me, right? Chang'e laughed, haha. Do you think I'm the kind of person who deceives others? The little girl, moved, hugged Chang'e and said, I am willing. Then she turned to look at the villain, asking, what about those bad people? Chang'e grinned, bad people. Of course, they will be reincarnated. I hope they can become good people in their next lives, just like me. He finished speaking and gently moved his thoughts. The entire villain radiated light. Before he could figure out what was happening, his body exploded, turning into a dazzling light, like fireworks. Tian cheered, Master is amazing. Chang'e corrected her, call me Master. Tian dumbly said, Master. Chang'e smiled with satisfaction, good disciple, Master is liking you more and more. Grandma Jinhua witnessed the scene and thought to herself, this person is too powerful, beyond my understanding. Do people from the upper world have such vast capabilities? Chang'e took out a few sacred artifacts and handed them to Tian, since this is our first meeting, let these be a gift from me to you. Tian was stunned, are all these for me? Why is Master so kind to me? Chang'e smiled, little girl, you must understand. Sometimes, a master is closer than family. Tian was moved to tears, closer than family. Chang'e gently wiped away her tears, don't cry. From now on, as long as you stay with your master, no one will bully you anymore. Grandma couldn't help but shout, sacred artifacts. There are so many. These are weapons that can dominate the heavens and rule over an area. Chang'e smiled, alright, let's leave this place together. Tian asked worriedly, but what about Grandma? Can she come with us? He answered, of course. I can't limit her freedom because she's your family. Grandma bowed and thank you, Immortal. The scene shifts to an open area, where two villains have somehow escaped. As they ran, they discussed, what is going on with that Immortal? Didn't they tell us to go there? The other one grumbled, scratching his head, who knows what he wants? Maybe we were tricked. The first one sneered, should we gather people to take revenge? Hearing this, the second one shouted, are you crazy? Didn't you see the big brother just got killed? Run as far as you can before he finds us. Suddenly, a doll-like figure appeared in front of them, something Chang'e had set up earlier. Stepping out of the void, it coldly said, want to run? Too late. The scene shifts, and Chang'e is leading Tian and Grandma away. Grandma sighed and said, Immortal. Everything I said is true. Tian is unfortunate, but meeting you is her luck. He smiled and replied, it's fate. Tian innocently asked, Master, can I become a cultivator like my brother in the future? Grandma worriedly explained, Immortal, don't be surprised, Tian is still young and hasn't fully understood your great power. I believe that under your guidance, Tian will surpass her brother one day. Chang'e looked at Tian and nodded, it's fine. Tian is my first disciple. Meeting you both is also fate. He pondered and thought to himself, isn't that right, Jiangyang? Suddenly, a giant monster with two horns appeared from somewhere, charging toward them. Humans are really bold. They dared to step onto my ancient divine deer's territory. Grandma saw his momentum and exclaimed, that's an aura above the sage realm, an ancient divine spirit, Master, that's. Chang'e coldly smiled and said, It's your son's supplement. You're finished, son. Seeing Chang'e's face, she just wanted to slap him hard. I used many divine herbs and immortal pills under the trust of the immortal, even using an ancient divine spirit as the medicine guide, yet still couldn't help Tian break through. Changgu thought to himself, as expected. Tian, with tears in her eyes, said, "Master, I'm sorry." Changgu gently patted her head and said, "Did you do something to disappoint me?" "Woo, I'm really useless, wasting so many resources and time, but still can't cultivate," she cried out. Changgu wiped her tears away and gently said, "Just because you can't cultivate, does that mean you're no longer my disciple? Do you remember what I told you before? Master said you're closer than family." He lightly flicked Tian's nose and mischievously said, "Remember that, little girl. Just don't overthink things. Don't worry, Master has power and influence. Even if I have to raise you for a lifetime, so what?" The old lady beside them spoke up. She had originally worried that the immortal had other plans for Tian, but because of Tian, he wasn't angry even after wasting so many precious resources. She said, "He really does like Tian. To have such a powerful yet gentle master, Tian is really lucky. Considering the time difference for descending to this world, it's almost time. Now, will Tian be willing to return to the upper world with me? Oh, does Tian not want to care about this?" Immortal Fu said, "This little girl must be thinking about her brother." Master, Tian wants to see her brother," she answered with her head down. "I see, it's my oversight, but your brother is really strange. After 3 years of cultivation, he hasn't come back to see you. Truly. Alright, if Tian wants to go, I will take you to the immortal Holy Land." The little girl happily thanked her master. The immortal appeared in the Xian domain earlier, and now he's in the heavenly domain, taking a little girl around to seize rare treasures for cultivation. Yes, according to rumors, the girl seems to have been attacked by bandits in Beishan village and was conveniently saved by that immortal. Yuming didn't contemplate for long and said, "It seems that person has nothing to do with the human race. Which force from the upper world came here?" She instructed her subordinates to find out who he really is. Yes, the human race must have already planned for a generation of young people to appear in this world. If I can't find the reincarnation's identity, then I will take all of your opportunities. If nothing goes wrong, Changgu should be studying the list of ghost world substitutes I gave him. All of them are very suitable candidates. If he knew everything I did for him, would he trust me more? The scene shifts to the heavenly domain immortal Holy Land. Saint Lord Kai coldly said, "Everything you said is true." The subordinate reported, "Saint Lord, it's indeed as you said." That day, an unknown aura was heard on the mountain path, and then strange blood flew into the sky, with a dragon-like cry echoing in agony. It seems it really broke the dragon vein and punished the heavens, making actions extremely difficult. Could the path to immortality truly be cut off? Suddenly remembering something, the Saint Lord asked, "By the way, how is the background of the boy you brought back? I once checked the curse of the desolate sacred body in him, and it seemed to have been eliminated 2 years ago, when I brought him to the Holy Land, I found he was a desolate sacred body and couldn't cultivate. But this time, the work on the mining area was all in the black blood mutation, and everyone helplessly persisted. Yet he was fine." The subordinate concluded that there must be something special about him. So, they brought him back to the Holy Land. Unexpectedly, he suddenly caused a strange phenomenon where immortal light illuminated the heavenly palace, leading to the appearance of the ancestor's phantom. Could he have benefited from a disaster? Impossible, the ancestor is supreme and is a desolate sacred body. How could he summon the ancestor's image? This person can't be that simple. Perhaps he will become the hope of our immortal Holy Land. In the distance, a subordinate rushed and panting and reported, "Saint Lord Kai, someone is at the mountain gate, the immortal has arrived." What? The immortal? He opened his mouth in surprise. The immortal even brought a little girl, roaming the heavenly domain, seizing elixirs, medicinal wines, and rare treasures. Recently, I heard he even killed a few saint lords and ancient creatures. The subordinate trembled and stuttered, "It's him. This is the Holy Land, not the immortal. Please wait a moment, let me send someone to report. I'm not sure what brings the immortal here personally to the immortal will Holy Land." Gu Changgu noticed the fortune here had a rising dragon phenomenon. Even the fortune of the heavenly god realm started to become strange. Could the human reincarnation not only be the child of fortune but also a man from the heavenly god realm? What's going on? Everyone's here, why am I feeling a little nervous? Gu Changgu teased Tian Tian. It's so prosperous here, it's a huge difference from Beishan village. Master, do you think my brother really forgot about Tian Tian and us? It seems the memory of the human race has awakened, otherwise, he wouldn't forget his roots. I originally thought I would need to put some effort into this, but it turned out to be so simple. Gu Changgu quickly comforted the little girl, Tian Tian, don't worry. He may just be busy cultivating and hasn't had time to come see you. The little girl looked a little disappointed. Master, you don't have to comfort me. I wasn't like this before. I used to work hard and even if it was tough and tiring, he would always come back to see us. Maybe he has changed, after all, this place is better than ours. Gu Changgu suddenly felt a bit awkward. Heaven and earth bear witness, I haven't even started yet. It's the Saint Lord, they've arrived. The Saint Lord and the elders quickly went to greet them. We pay our respects to the immortal, it is an honor for our sect that the immortal personally visits, making our sect shine. He said excitedly, I wonder why the immortal came to the Will Saint land. Is this the legendary person from the upper realm? Gu Changgu's face was cold, filled with malice. I am looking for Jiang Yang. The Saint Lord looked at the child and thought, that child doesn't come from that village. I didn't expect he would go with the immortal. Did I make a mistake back then? He is truly a genius. The subordinate hurriedly added, Saint Lord, I know that child. She is Jiang Yang's younger sister. I didn't expect this connection. Could this be the blessing of the heavens for our sect? As long as the immortal knows that our sect values Jiang Yang greatly. He said enthusiastically, Immortal, you don't know. Jiang Yang carries the destiny of a saint, and his entire life will be spent focused on cultivation in our sect. This child indeed has talent. Just a few days ago, he even summoned the illusion of our ancestor, indicating that his aptitude has been recognized by our sect. Gu Changgu smiled and replied, Oh, really? The Saint Lord continued smiling, of course. The Saint Kun sect has never given Jiang Yang any protection, but instead provided the most resources. He thought to himself, I can't let the immortal know that Jiang Yang worked hard as a laborer to cultivate. It seems Jiang Yang has had a good life here. What is the immortal saying? Of course. Jiang Yang is a genius among thousands. The little girl heard their conversation and thought to herself, so brother has been living well here? Doesn't he remember Tianyin? A hint of sadness appeared in her eyes. Didn't you know Jiang Yang had a younger sister? The Saint Lord's eyes widened, A younger sister, Saint Lord, I didn't know about this either. The subordinate's face turned pale as he hurriedly transmitted the message. Then bring him to me. Yes, immortal, please follow me. System prompt, Jianin's feelings toward her brother weakened, Jiang Yang's reincarnation fate decreased. Gaining 6,000 points of fortune and 30,000 points of destiny. The rift with her family caused Jiang Yang's reincarnation fate to weaken, gaining 500 points of fortune and 2,500 points of destiny. Gu Changgu thought, it should follow the usual course. Jiang Yang probably has some hidden circumstances, which caused Tianyin to misunderstand him like this. Then he sneered lightly, but if it's a misunderstanding, then it should remain unresolved. At this moment, intersecting blue and yellow lights appeared in the sky. An old man spoke, this phenomenon is truly astonishing. Could it be that the cursed body of desolation saint has been broken? The grand elder of the Zhao Di Tian Kun saint sect responded, in just 1 month, his cultivation reached the divine power realm. He is truly a mysterious person, making it difficult to comprehend. The scene shifted to the great hall, where Jiang Yang was sitting in meditation, and the air around him was filled with energy. A voice came from behind, "Did you see that? This is everything I gained after accepting me. You no longer have to let others casually exploit your labor and suffer." Jiang Yang responded, "You are you, I am me, we are different. I will never accept you." He turned around, slightly furrowing his brows, his face showing some displeasure. "Young people are really stubborn. Have you forgotten who couldn't hold on in the beginning and had to finally compromise with me? Without me, you would have been devoured long ago. How could you still be alive now and dare to talk back?" Jiang Yang still argued, that was under special circumstances. At this moment, a voice came from afar, Jiang Yang, can you hear me?" Zhao Di came in while speaking, "Jiang Yang, come out quickly. An immortal has brought your sister to see you. He cares a lot about you. Don't delay." Jiang Yang was extremely surprised, "An immortal? My sister?" He then smiled brightly, Tian. Tian is here. Huh, finally arrived. Suddenly, his expression changed, and he said, "Disciple, go to the ancestor hall and inform that immortal to come here. I'll wait for him here, no one else is to disturb me." The two elders were shocked, their eyes wide open. "Jiang Yang, have you gone mad from your cultivation? Be careful with your words, don't speak recklessly. If this involves the Xian Kun Saint sect, you won't be able to handle the consequences." Jiang Yang turned to leave, not forgetting to say something foolish, which made the two elders very angry. "Why don't you ask that immortal? Does he dare to stop us?" Zhao Di looked at Jiang Yang, fuming with anger, with that look of superiority. Could it be that the ancient bloodline has awakened in him? Such a child of destiny, anything is possible. Conquering true immortals is not without precedent. Send the message as Jiang Yang said. Ah. This, yes. The elders seemed to still be somewhat fearful. Jiang Yang turned to look at Zhao Di, "Your eyes can only see mediocre talent, otherwise, you wouldn't have cultivated to the saint realm. You are Zhao Di, right? From now on, follow me and serve me well. I'll make sure you don't suffer." Zhao Di was stunned for 5 seconds after hearing this, then sighed, "Such arrogance, really domineering." Jiang Yang spoke, "Why do you act like that toward the immortal? He treats Tian very well." The person snorted coldly, "You're overthinking. If it weren't for my existence, do you think that immortal would treat that girl well? So naive. Open your eyes and watch, see how he'll come to visit me." Inside the hall, the elder kneeled on the ground, trembling as he reported, This is what Jiang Yang said. "I hope the immortal won't blame us. This matter has nothing to do with the Xian Kun Saint sect." The Saint Lord, upon hearing this, broke into a cold sweat. "It's over, this matter doesn't seem right." "That's right. The boy really said that." The Grand Elder was also present, and she told me to deliver Jiang Yang's words exactly. Gu Chang'e picked up his teacup and slowly took a sip, saying, "He actually dares to make me wait, quite the bold one." "What happened to Jiang Yang?" An old woman's face showed some disappointment. Tian gently tugged on Gu Chang'e's hand and whispered an apology, "Master, I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry." Gu Chang'e hurriedly patted the little girl's head and comforted her, "It's fine, it's not Tian's fault. But your brother is a bit arrogant." His eyes suddenly turned cold. The Saint Lord, seeing this, quickly cupped his hands in respect, "Please, immortal, calm your anger. I will bring that arrogant boy here to apologize to the heavens." "Come with me," Gu Chang'e said to Tian, "I want to see what kind of courage that boy has." He then said to Tian, "After meeting your brother, we will return to the upper realm." Tian replied, I will follow Master's instructions." System notification, Tian is very disappointed with her brother. The fate of the son Jiang Yang has been damaged, receiving 8,000 points of fortune, gaining 4,000 points of destiny. Gu Chang'e thought, "This is all you're doing, I didn't expect the ancestor of humanity to be so hypocritical, but if you're hypocritical with me, you're probably mistaken. It's like lifting a rock only to drop it on your own feet. Jiang Yang, the Holy Lord is here. Being noticed by Jiang Yang is indeed not simple. Oh. Is this an invitation for me? Am I really that confident? Jiang Yang still looked extremely arrogant. Pass my words to him. If he comes to see me now, I will not dwell on the past. If not, then don't blame me for not giving him a chance. His eyes were full of killing intent. But just a second later, a hand grabbed his hair, his face instantly turned pale, and his head was full of question marks. Everyone from afar was walking in. Jiang Yang was escorted by 2 elders. The Holy Lord quickly clasped his hands respectfully. Greetings, Immortal. We've brought Jiang Yang, waiting for your instructions. Jiang Yang's face showed some confusion, thinking to himself, this person is not the descendant of the ancestor hall. Gu Chang'e showed a cold smile, you are Jiang Yang. If this pig wasn't Tian's brother, his calamity would probably be approaching soon. Jiang Yang thought, is this person investigating my identity? What does he want from me? Then he spoke, yes, we are Jiang Yang. Who are you? Do you still remember your sister Tian? Gu Chang'e coldly responded, we're not afraid of traveling far to see you, but your attitude is somewhat disappointing. How could I forget my sister? As for my attitude, the Holy Lord frowned and thought, this kid isn't trying to pretend again, is he? Xiao Yang, stop being stubborn. Quickly apologized to the Immortal. The wife also spoke to persuade Jiang Yang. I think you should reflect on yourself, because no matter what, I really dislike. Maybe using an overbearing attitude with me, you might regret today's events. Jiang Yang still spoke confidently. Gu Chang'e gently let go of Tian, coldly walked closer. Oh, looks like you know you're that little girl's brother, and want me to not act against you. Forget it, today I'll help Tian teach you a lesson, so you know the heights of heaven and earth. Saying this, Gu Chang'e waved his hand towards Jiang Yang. The Holy Lord stood by silently observing, sweating profusely, thinking, strange markings, it took me and the elders working together just to break them. Just one slap, still not admitting fault. Tian ran over, gently grabbing Gu Chang'e's hand, pleading, Master, don't be angry, it's all Tian. Tian's fault, bringing him here to accompany me and making you angry, but he wasn't like this before. Gu Chang'e patted her head and said, silly girl. If you won't strike him, then let me take action, no problem. What can arrogance and some talent do? Do you think you're from the ancestor hall? He disrespected my master first, he deserves to be slapped. I just hope master can let him go. Jiang Yang lowered his head and apologized, today's matter is my fault, please spare my life, Immortal. I hope you won't hold it against me because of Tian. Although I'm only a divine being, borrowing the power of ordinary cultivators from the heavenly realm doesn't offer much advantage. However, having been slapped by this person, I will bear it for now and prepare to act later. Jiang Yang frowned and plotted. Hearing this, Gu Chang'e said, oh, with a hint of disdain, I heard Tian has a master who cares for her. So much, I actually feel jealous, letting possessiveness take over. The truth is, this matter is because I've been so focused on cultivation these years that I've neglected her. I also don't care whether I'm close to her. The Holy Maiden and Holy Lord, who were observing from the side, looked very worried. Did I misjudge? Is Jiang Yang just flaunting his background? Maybe Tian no longer needs this brother now that she has a master. Thank you for the slap, Immortal. If it weren't for you, I probably wouldn't have awakened. This is clearly to prevent me from acting again. Knowing how to use both soft and hard tactics, using Tian to manipulate me, making it so I want to strike the bad guy but can't. Jiang Yang revealed a sinister smile. But you're overthinking it. I can't kill you yet. I'm sorry, Tian, it's all my fault. Can you forgive me? Gu Chang'e reminded, don't worry, for Tian's sake, I won't kill you, nor will I hold your previous disrespect against you. But now you're in the immortal Kun sacred land, and yet you leave Tian Tian alone. In the desolate mountain of Beishan village, missing you day and night. This shouldn't be. Tian Tian, it's not that your brother doesn't want to come back and see you, it's just that. After saying this, Jiang Yang pointed to his subordinates beside him. Tian Tian had a hint of sadness in her eyes. Brother, I believe you have your reasons. Let's just forget it. Jiang Yang was also stunned, not knowing what to say for a moment. Tian Tian said, no matter what, he is still my brother. Who hasn't made mistakes when they were young? I can see that his words are sincere, and his explanation is reasonable. Gu Chang'e saw this and said to Tian Tian, since your brother has apologized, Tian Tian, can you forgive him? Okay. Tian Tian, hearing Gu Chang'e's words, obediently nodded and agreed, yes, master, Tian Tian will listen to you. Jiang Yang, meanwhile, was secretly thinking, it seems that it's not just about relying on force, with just a few words, he has quietly taken control of the situation and become the one on top. No matter how many tricks I have behind my back, I must handle this person cautiously. At this moment, Jiang Yang could only say politely, everyone has worked hard along the way. Tonight, Tian Tian and Grandma can rest. Well. Tomorrow, I will take everyone around. This place is much more interesting than Beishan village. Gu Chang'e secretly praised, this Jiang Yang is really capable of both bending and stretching, not simple at all. Tian Tian and Grandma, hearing this, happily agreed. Jiang Yang didn't forget to tease Gu Chang'e, looks like the immortal hasn't had time to change Tiantian's clothes, right? Then tomorrow, brother will take you to pick some clothes, Well, you're done for. You dared to tease Gu Chang'e. This guy holds grudges, it looks like your life is over. Gu Chang'e revealed a sinister smile, and from his expression, it was clear he had something in mind. He thought to himself, how foolish, you're eager to get closer to Tian Tian, but your cleverness has backfired. This will only make Tian Tian distance herself from you even more. Anyway, for me, isn't this an opportunity? Gu Chang'e then said, you don't need to worry about this. What's so special about choosing clothes from the mortal world? Jiang Yang instantly realized that, on the surface, Gu Chang'e was talking about clothes. But in reality, he was preventing him from getting closer to Tian Tian. Gu Chang'e calmly continued, when we meet Tiantian's master wife, she will personally make her clothes. Tian Tian, hearing for the first time about her master wife, was surprised and asked, master wife of Tian Tian. On the other side, the saintess sneezed several times. Someone must be thinking of me, haha. The saintess also got news and learned that Gu Chang'e was currently in the immortal Kuan's sacred land, so she asked her subordinates. What is the immortal doing in the immortal Kuan's sacred land? Have you found out anything? Her subordinate immediately answered, not yet. That person's strength is immense. Unless he doesn't want to hide, otherwise, we can't find his whereabouts. The saintess agreed with this, indeed, if he wants to hide, who could find him? Then she ordered her subordinates to withdraw and instructed, pay more attention to the immortal Kuan's sacred land in the future. Don't let him disrupt my plans. The scene shifted to Jiang Yang, who was meditating when suddenly, angry and vengeful curses echoed inside him. You shameless bastard, you despicable guy. What kind of so-called adult are you? You don't deserve to be Tiantian's brother. Now Tian Tian doesn't believe me anymore, give my body back. It turned out that the two were arguing. The person outside coldly said, no matter what, Tian Tian must not fall into that person's hands. I must regain her trust. To accomplish great things, one cannot be concerned with small details. It's not a big deal, I will deal with the trouble slowly after the situation stabilizes. The voice inside Jiang Yang asked, what exactly do you want to do? The person outside snorted coldly and then squeezed the small Jiang Yang in his palm, causing the small Jiang Yang to scream in terror, let me go. didn't you say you wouldn't touch me? I can't die, I still have to protect Tian Tian. The person outside coldly responded, the situation has changed. It's no longer up to you. From now on, you are me, and I am you. Just stay here and rest easy. The small Jiang Yang screamed in fear, let me go, let me go. You liar. Ignoring Jiang Yang's screams, he remained cold, whether it's your sister or grandma, I will take good care of them. After all, I am Jiang Yang. Outside, a young girl witnessed this scene and, feeling the terrifying pressure, couldn't help but exclaim. This guy is too strong. With such strength, why does he still lower his head in the day? He really is a mysterious figure. At this moment, Jiang Yang seemed to have been possessed, radiating a glow, with light points flying around the room. He thought to himself, using 100% of the one lifetime Dao fruit, it seems there is little impact on this body. In the end, he completed the cultivation of the reincarnation seal, his eyes suddenly brightened, and a powerful aura surrounded him. Finally, he gained usable power. Transitioning to our home, Gu Chang'e, seeing the commotion, was certain that tonight would not be calm. The Skyfall Holy Land is where the fortune of the angel realm starts to gather. As expected, they are trying to deal with me, probably because I slapped him today, so he's holding a grudge. Gu Chang'e sensed that. This person's aura seemed unstable. With an unstable aura, how could he possibly defeat me? At most, it's just a few breaths of air. At this point, Gu Chang'e's subordinate arrived and handed over the information gathered about Jiang Yang. Gu Chang'e instructed his subordinate to investigate everything about Jiang Yang. At this point, Gu Chang'e realized, reincarnation has a purpose, so everything from now on has already been arranged. The path to becoming an immortal, conquering the Skyfall holy body. Ha, ha. It seems that besides me, the angel realm might also have uncertainties about the reincarnation of the emperor. His method of reincarnation isn't exactly above board. Is it? Gu Chang'e smiled wickedly. He also guessed, the initial boundary of the angel realm shouldn't be you. Transitioning to Tian Tian, not sure what sign this is. Tian Tian felt that something was wrong and asked her grandmother. At this moment, in Gu Chang'e's confinement space, Jiang Soa Soa was still bound and hanging, her face red like an apple, with only a cloth covering her body. Gu Chang'e truly didn't understand how to cherish a woman. She was still angrily shouting, Gu Chang'e, you beast, that bastard, always using these vile methods. Gu Chang'e calmly replied, this can't be blamed on me. Every time I ask you, you don't answer, I thought you were enjoying it. Jiang Soa Soa's cheeks were as red as fire, looking very beautiful, but she didn't forget to threaten Gu Chang'e. When I get out, I will expose you as the devil. How will you explain this to the Wushuang heavenly dynasty? But Gu Chang'e wasn't afraid of such threats. What's your business with my words? Gu Chang'e had already prepared. Look clearly, if Soa Soa doesn't cooperate with me, she may never leave this place. Gu Chang'e approached Soa Soa, his hands began to explore her body, threatening, tell me, what is the trump card of the Emperor's Hall? Soa Soa felt something approaching but didn't know what it was, only terrifiedly shouting. Gu Chang'e, you are truly perverted and shameless, a despicable bastard, a lowly scoundrel, embarrassing. She had to admit that although she was captured, her sister had completely seen through Gu Chang'e's good qualities. Gu Chang'e stretched his hand to Soa Soa's cloth, accompanying the threat, Soa Soa. Curse a bit more, let's see. Soa Soa's face turned as red as fire, her body trembling, then she finally confessed. After enduring a round of terrible torture, Soa Soa revealed everything. Now sitting in a posture as if just bullied, Gu Chang'e was satisfied with the information he got, so. That's how it is, the reincarnation seal contains the Tao fruit of each emperor's inheritance. Soa Soa hugged her legs and sat solemnly confirming, that's right, so don't think about competing with the emperor, you are no match for him. Gu Chang'e stroked his chin and analyzed, wanting to merge the Tao fruit from the reincarnation seal is one of the emperor's most Precious heavenly paths. But this is extremely difficult, so continuous reincarnation is needed to find a very strong body. Thank you for the Saint Lady's information. At this point, Soa Soa seemed to realize something. But Gu Changa immediately took his leave. I have to go arrange some matters. Gu Changa again revealed a crafty smile. Silly woman. Do you think the emperor is an upright person? An upright person wouldn't choose a saint lady for one generation after another. Transitioning to Gu Changa's room, Gu Changa said to Tian Tian, Tian Tian, there's something I don't know if I should tell you. Tian Tian anxiously asked her master. After a moment, Tian Tian expressed surprise. I didn't expect that my brother had been captured by the Skyfall Holy Land to do forced labor. The grandmother beside her also spoke up. Grandmother has a question. If the heavens say Jiang Yang faces such a bad situation, how could he survive? This matter can't be solved just by nature. Gu Changa replied seriously, this is exactly what I don't want to guess, because even a saint can't safely retreat when faced with the misfortune caused by digging the dragon's veins. No mistake at all, even. The grandmother spoke, then this is the only possibility. Xiao Yang must have had his body taken over by someone. Tian Tian also asked worriedly, Grandmother, do you and Master think that my brother is no longer my brother? He was taken over by someone else, the real brother is gone. So where is Jiang Yang now? Gu Changa lowered his head and patted Tian Tian's head, saying, Tian Tian, this matter isn't certain yet, don't worry, I hope this is just me overthinking. But in the next few days, when you interact with your brother, pay more attention to see if something feels off. Gu Changa handed Tian Tian a jade pendant. This jade pendant contains my master's divine soul. If you encounter danger, break it. Don't worry, everything is taken care of by your master. Tian Tian picked up the jade pendant. Thank you, master. A notice board appeared. The luck child, Jiang Yang, was suspected by his family, causing a crack that damaged his luck, earning 6,000 luck points and 40,000 destiny points. The scene shifted to a room where the saintess had just received a forwarded message, so the little girl with Gu Changa is Jiang Yang's sister. She finally understood, I see. There was no news before because she went to the desolate sacred body to live as an ordinary person, but in the end, she still found you. She thought to herself, if I'm not mistaken, the ancestor of the immortal maiden Holy Land was a being enlightened by a human ancestor, so there must be some methods behind the immortal maiden Holy Land. One wrong move there, and you're done. I must lure him over and create a unique condition. But the reincarnation of the human ancestor cannot know that I was the one who killed him, so I must make him believe that I came from the lower realms to find him. But that immortal might also be a variable. Should I subdue him first? At this moment, on a busy street, with the sounds of hawking goods everywhere, Jiang Yang, Tian Tian, and her mother were shopping. He asked, this is your first time coming to such a place, right? Jiang Yang happily replied, enjoy yourselves, money is not an issue. Is it to prevent me from making a move? Do they think I'm foolish? Look over there. Haha, that person is really funny. Ah, and there's the candied hawthorn that Tian Tian loves. Jiang Yang turned around, holding a few skewers of candied hawthorn, smiling and saying, try it, it's flavored like elixir. Tian Tian interrupted him and said, brother, I'm a little tired. I think I want to go back first. Tian Tian looked uncomfortable, with a slight frown on her face. Jiang Yang felt a bit unaware, as if he sensed something. He said, if Tian Tian is tired, then let's go back. Tian Tian seems a bit unhappy today. While thinking about it, Tian Tian said, yesterday you mentioned something difficult to say. Jiang Yang awkwardly replied. That's true, but didn't you say you should trust your brother? Tian Tian continued, your luck is so good, only you survived. Those who went to dig the dragon vein all died. How could my brother come back unharmed? Tian Tian pretended to be confused. Jiang Yang replied, Tian Tian, I don't know what he said to you, but you'd better not get close to him. Jiang Yang continued, think about it, he comes from the higher realms, and his knowledge far exceeds everyone here. He actually thinks you're the most special. Clearly, you can't cultivate, so his kindness must have some ulterior motive. Tian, don't be foolish, don't let him use you. In today's society, no one would be kind to you for no reason. Whether you believe it or not, you can ask your wife and see if I'm right. Woo-woo. Master can't eat anymore. Tian recalled before, when Gu Chang'e gave her many pills to nurture her body. Sorry, Master, Tian has wasted a lot of immortal pills again, but I still can't cultivate. The wife stood beside her, pondering, one pill can make many. Experts fight desperately, how come there are so many? Tian asked, Master, is it that you no longer need Tian? Gu Chang'e responded indifferently, if you can't cultivate, then it's fine, just stay by my side and massage my back and shoulders. As for those spiritual pills, just treat them as meals. After all, you called me master. These things are nothing to me, Tian, don't overthink it. I've looked through many ancient texts, and your master is probably a hypocrite. He must have come here looking for treasures. Or spiritual pills, right? Once he finds them, he'll surely trick you into returning to the upper realms to cultivate you. In reality, he just wants to use you to achieve his own goals. Tian shouted, enough, brother, stop saying that. Master is not that kind of person. Tian firmly said, Master is a good person, brother, you're not allowed to slander him. Xianluan's sacred land. Gu Chang'e said, it seems that the ancestor is sealed here. Taking advantage of Jiang Yang's absence, Gu Chang'e directly barged in. Several henchmen fell to the ground, still struggling to lift their heads, and asked, how did this happen? Why are you doing this? Gu Chang'e took out the green light sword, showing a sly smile, what if I secretly refine his greatest support while Jiang Yang is away? As soon as the words were spoken, Gu Chang'e sent the remaining people to meet Yama. Then, Gu Chang'e entered the forbidden area, where the spiritual energy was dense, hiding precious resources that the heavenly god realm could not gather. The human ancestor truly worked hard for the cycle of reincarnation, but with such a big move, not everyone is fortunate enough to bear it. Then I'll reluctantly take care of it. Suddenly, a voice came from inside. Junior, seeking death. A light shadow appeared, and an elderly man with piercing eyes rushed toward Gu Chang'e. He spread his arms wide, attempting to capture Gu Chang'e, who coldly said, why is this old guy in such a hurry? It will be your turn eventually. The light shadow stopped abruptly upon seeing the treasure bottle saber in Gu Chang'e's hand, and with astonishment, said, treasure bottle saber? You arrogant and ignorant junior, do you think just because you have the treasure bottle saber? Before he could finish speaking, his face suddenly turned pale with fear. What is this feeling? You are. Gu Chang'e revealed a shameless smile, that's right, I am the successor of the demonic art. Congratulations, you guessed it correctly, I'll reward you with a death sentence. The elder used all his strength to resist, shouting in terror. Human ancestor, save me, help, help. Only his mournful screams echoed through the air. Gu Chang'e said smugly, don't worry, the ancestor will soon be on his way with you. Then he had to admit, I never expected that the origin of the supreme reincarnation would be so pure. If the main body were to act this time, it might not be easy to succeed. Suddenly, Gu Chang'e sensed something unusual. The scene switches to Tian at this moment. Jiang Yang thought to himself, is this the awakening? A woman was running from the distance but was suddenly struck by the aura from Tian. She was directly knocked back more than 10 meters. Jiang Yang realized the situation was bad, the attack was incredibly strange. Tian was about to make a move against Jiang Yang, and he hurriedly shouted aloud. Tian, I'm Jiang Yang, don't you recognize me? When we were young, you often followed me to gather herbs and catch fish, don't you remember? Tian suddenly stopped, brother Jiang Yang. At this moment, Jiang Yang had noticed a slight flaw. He didn't care about anything else, he had to suppress her first. Jiang Yang rushed forward, about to grab Tian Tian when suddenly a vortex appeared in the space. A familiar hand reached toward Jiang Yang's cheek. A slap directly sent him flying several kilometers away. Every time Jiang Yang encountered Gu Chang'e, he inevitably got slapped. Gu Chang'e immediately turned and asked, Tian Tian, what happened? Tian Tian answered with a sad expression, Master. Master. There was a murmur from outside, so, this is the immortal who has been causing a stir recently. At this point, the old woman also stepped forward and answered, reporting to the immortal, this is the first time I've seen Tian Tian in such a state. Gu Chang'e's face darkened as he said, what did you do to my disciple? At this moment, Jiang Yang, holding his swollen face, said pitifully, I didn't do anything. We were just having a normal conversation, and I don't know why Tian Tian turned out like this. I didn't lie, everyone saw it. He cursed inwardly, damn, the gap between him and me is so huge, another slap. Gu Chang'e turned to leave, but before he left, he threatened, if I find out that you lied to me, even Tian Tian won't be able to save you then. Jiang Yang could only grit his teeth and reply, yes. He was still holding his swollen face, thinking to himself, it seems it's time to restart the previous plan, I must get rid of this guy. Suddenly, a system prompt appeared, the daughter of fortune fights against the son of fortune. The son of fortunes. Fortune is damaged, gaining 8,000 points of fortune and 40,000 points of destiny. Humiliating the son of fortune in front of others, the son of fortune's fortune is damaged, gaining 2,000 points of fortune and 10,000 points of destiny. Gu Chang'e revealed a crafty smile and sighed, this level of reward is barely enough to catch up to the cultivation resources I need right now. The scene switches to Jiang Yang's secret room. The beautiful woman handed the envelope to Jiang Yang and said, this letter was sent by a disciple from the foot of the mountain, saying that you need to open it yourself. He said, a letter from an upper realm cultivator, they must know my identity. Why would an upper realm cultivator be guiding one person and appearing in this small heavenly god realm? What is the heir of the human ancestor temple up to? Forget it, avoiding complications is less important than dealing with that person. Then he asked the woman, your injury is fine now, right? Help me with a task, I need you to go. The woman accepted the order and obeyed. The scene shifted to Gu Chang'e's room, where he was savoring tea and said, oh. Such good news. Be clear. Chang'e looked at the woman below, and she said, reporting to the immortal, this matter is absolutely true. According to reports from the Sacred Land's disciples, recently, there has been an anomaly at the Feathering Heavenly Pool. With a phantom Qing lotus standing in the air. Perhaps a treasure has appeared, and I came to inform the immortal. Gu Chang'e replied, why are you telling me this? The woman responded, reporting to the immortal, the opportunity at the Feathering Heavenly Pool is not something cultivators of the heavenly god realm can enjoy. I believe there may be something there that might interest the immortal. Gu Chang'e put down his teacup and confirmed. I understand. Chang'e thought to himself, Jiang Yang, you are practically writing the words Nirvana Qing Lotus on her face. Is this all you've got? You must think the gap between us is too big now, and that's why you're revealing the opportunity, right? But I'm sure you've set up a lot around the Feathering Heavenly Pool, haven't you? The conditions for obtaining the Nirvana Qing Lotus are extremely harsh for upper realm cultivators, making it a rare item. Such significant news, even if it's false, I must still check it out. Don't disappoint me. At this point, the three of them had returned home, and Tian Tian said to Gu Chang'e, Master, didn't you say you didn't want me? Why did you leave me here? The old woman chided Tian Tian gently, you must not be rude to your master. Gu Chang'e sat down, gently stroked Tian Tian's head, and said softly, Tian Tian, you're very cute and smart. How could I not want you? It's just that this trip is too dangerous, and it would be safer for you to stay here. Tian Tian, however, tearfully said, didn't Master say that there's a tremendous power inside me? I can use it to protect you. Before Tian could finish, Gu Chang'e interrupted, no. Are you disobeying my orders now? Tian knew she couldn't change her master's decision, so she said sadly, is the dangerous place master is going related to brother Jiang Yang? The three of them fell silent, not knowing how to answer. Indeed, she was a sensible child, unable to hide anything. Gu Chang'e gently stroked Tian's head and said, very good, very good. As far as I know, the person occupying your brother's body cannot hurt you. Don't worry, I won't be in danger. After that, Gu Chang'e turned and left, seeming reluctant as he said, I promise, I'll be back soon. After speaking, Gu Chang'e transformed into light and left, leaving Tian crying while holding the old woman. The old woman comforted her, your master doesn't want us to fall into danger, he's really a good person. On the other side, Jiang Yang stood with his hands behind his back, watching Gu Chang'e leave and muttering to himself in satisfaction, You couldn't resist the temptation I set up, could you? I've already set up an array at the feathering heavenly pool to protect the Nirvana Qing lotus. Even the great sage Sun Wukong couldn't escape, Jiang Yang's cold face, paired with his terrifying words, made the woman shiver. She still had a faint sense of unease, unsure of what would happen next. But all she could do was pray that everything would go smoothly, or else the sacred land would be destroyed. Gu Chang'e flew toward the location provided by the woman's information, a cunning smile appeared on his sharp face. The scene changes to outside a courtyard, where the saintess is waiting for news but has yet to receive any response. She rests her chin in thought, realizing that Jiang Yang isn't a fool after all, he didn't fall for it and even sent a reply. If that's the case, all my plans are ruined. I'll send another letter to probe him, if it's Chang'e, it shouldn't happen this way. And that mysterious immortal. I heard they are also in the immortal willed sacred land, could they be someone sent by the human ancestor? If that's the case, things will get complicated. She said this as her hand touched her lips. Her eyes lit up, if Jiang Yang doesn't take the bait, then I'll have no choice but to go to the immortal stick sacred land and flatten everything. But if it's Chang'e, he shouldn't do this, right? It's so hard. At this moment, Gu Chang'e has been standing there for a long time and has heard all her thoughts. He smiled from the side and said to her, what a foolish woman, Jiang Yang isn't so easy to kill. You made such a big fuss. Going down to the mortal realm to find someone, but you have no plan at all. How are you going to slaughter that pig? Let me, your husband, help you. The scene shifts to the space where the saintess is imprisoned. She tightly hugged herself, warily watching Gu Chang'e, fearing what he might do to her. Gu Chang'e merely chuckled and said to her, what are you joking about? This is my world. I can come and go as I please. Why would I need to report to you? The saintess still curled up in the chair. Then, Gu Chang'e walked over and pinched her mouth, saying, now you belong to me, watch your attitude. Her mouth was distorted, and she couldn't speak clearly, you, this, bastard. I'll tell you. Before she could finish, Gu Chang'e directly threw her aside. She looked confused, not understanding what had happened, and could only scream, you. Gu Chang'e didn't care, if you behave well and make me happy, perhaps I'll let you go. She froze when she heard this, let me go. But in her heart, she thought, as long as I can get out, whether it's in the next life, I will have the chance to kill you. Gu Chang'e now sat confidently in the chair and said, I'm so thirsty. It seemed to hint at what she should do. Soa understood and could only bite her lip in endurance, walking forward to pour tea for Gu Chang'e. Gu Chang'e teased, I really have good fortune, to drink tea brewed by the hand of the saintess Soa. Facing his mockery, Soa could only remind him, don't go back on your word. Gu Chang'e grinned, of course not. Then Gu Chang'e sarcastically said, you don't even know how to brew tea, wasting 5 spirit immortal leaves and tree heart springs 800,000 years, and you can't even brew tea properly. Gu Chang'e, if you want to humiliate me, then you've succeeded. Gu Chang'e took a small sip of the tea and said, I'm not that bored. I just didn't want you to be alone here. Without anyone to talk to, I was just worried you'd be lonely. She crossed her arms and clearly didn't believe him. Stop pretending, a devil like you, cold-blooded and heartless, how could you have any humanity? Gu Changji's expression turned serious. Where am I lacking humanity? Should I just sit there waiting to die, or wait for others to take my life? What for? Soa thought what he said made sense. That's reasonable, but that's still no excuse for your indiscriminate killing. Gu Changgu slammed his palm onto the table angrily, questioning, indiscriminate killing? Which one of your eyes saw me indiscriminately killing people? Gu Changgu continued, I don't destroy or annihilate countries for no reason. If I come across an opportunity on the cultivation path, should I be humble, not fight, not compete? Is that still considered cultivation? I might as well hang myself with a rope, since sooner or later, someone will kill me. Hearing Gu Changji's manipulative words, she froze. Gu Changgu said, do you know how many people are eyeing my identity, my position? They eventually failed in the struggle and could only die. What you see is only when I am still alive. Everything I do is just to stay alive. Is it wrong to want to live? Sha lowered her head in silence. Then, Gu Changa pretended to be the victim, forget it. You wouldn't understand even if I told you. Sha immediately retorted. If you know I don't understand, then why say it? Gu Changa turned and left, saying, because I'm in a good mood now. If you're in a good mood, then let me go, she thought, has he already found the ancestor of humans? Gu Changa turned back and said, it's not impossible to let you go, but it's not the right time yet. But I think it will be soon. She shouted loudly at Gu Changa's back, Gu Changa. Stop looking for the ancestor of humans, you underestimate his methods. There are many forces behind him, all your plans will be in vain. Don't you want to live? Then hurry up and hide, stay away from the ancestor of humans. Gu Changa turned back and smiled, are you thinking of me? Though I'm happy, the one who should hide is not me, but him. Then, Gu Changa took Sha outside. Sha was surprised, this is the core of the array I set up, now the entire world is under my control. Although I haven't found that ancestor of humans, tell me, who should be hiding? Sha secretly reached behind to send a message to the ancestor of humans. But Gu Changa immediately pulled it back into space, it's already merciful enough to let you out for a breather. If you dare to interfere with my plan, things won't end well. She thought to herself, I've already sent the location of this place. After sending Sha back, Gu Changa thought, everything is ready. I should thank you, Sha. Jiang Yang, the heir of the ancestor of humans hall, Yu Mingkong, has prepared a great gift for you, you must come now. The scene switches to Jiang Yang's room, holding a letter, supposedly sent by the saintess. He thought. The fluctuations of the ancestor of humans hall's secret method are faint, but it is indeed there. Secret technique, and the location of this technique is exactly where we agreed to communicate. Then, he showed a sly smile, first, use the token to test the waters, then use the secret method to verify the identity. Then, he laughed loudly, not bad, the heir of this generation is indeed cautious, but he came at just the right time, just in time. The scene shifts to outside the Holy Land, where the sky is filled with dense lightning, and the ground splits in half. Such a shocking commotion, what happened in the martial transformation heavenly pool? Several people spoke in confusion, it's that immortal, I heard he's already entered the heavenly pool. If we follow, we'll get nothing and suffer huge losses. No wonder it's so chaotic. That immortal's power is truly terrifying. The scene switches to Gu Changa, who is recklessly moving through the lightning, with bolts of lightning shooting out in all directions. Gu Changa wore a cold smile as lightning occasionally flashed beside him, making the scene spine-chilling. A threatening voice came from inside, intruder, die. Before the words finished, a sword light shot toward Gu Changa. But Gu Changa lightly jumped, easily dodging the strike. A group of people here are still discussing intensely, what are those giant divine armors? Their power is too overwhelming. Only a ghost knows that just one of them could kill us, let alone so many. Gu Chang'e stood amidst the massive divine armor legion, as it attacked him while saying, "Intruder, kill. Intruder, kill." Gu Chang'e spread his palm, revealing a divine sword in his hand and said, as expected of the ultimate technique of the human race, truly interesting. As soon as the words left his mouth, he cleaved one of the divine armors into hundreds of pieces. Then, the light in Gu Chang'e's eyes flickered with fiery red brilliance. Next, a beam of sword light pierced through the body of the divine armor. A few wide-eyed people with their mouths open in the shape of an O exclaimed, "Truly an immortal. His power is too strong. At this speed, it will be over soon. Then we can pick up some leftovers." Meanwhile, Gu Chang'e was flying around, surrounded by red lightning. His speed was truly astonishing. But suddenly, a divine armor blocked Gu Chang'e. A group of people were shocked and said, "Am I seeing things? Did that immortal actually lose momentum?" Suddenly, Gu Chang'e realized a familiar aura. A giant divine armor stood in front of Gu Chang'e. "Anyone who trespasses the heavenly pool will die." At this moment, Gu Chang'e recognized that it was a very rare ancient divine armor. Gu Chang'e felt something was wrong, and just as he thought of it, the divine armor had somehow already appeared behind him. Its speed was truly incredible, and then, in front of everyone, the ancient divine armor swung its sword light, cutting Gu Chang'e into two pieces. Gu Chang'e showed an expression of pain and fear, regretting, "I didn't expect that I would die here." A few cultivators were both shocked and afraid. What is this monster? Even the immortal, so powerful, was killed. Run, run. If that divine armor notices us, we're dead for sure. Hurry and send a message, there might be a great disaster coming soon. The scene shifts to Tiantian's location. She and her grandmother had just received the news that Gu Chang'e was dead, but she still couldn't believe it. Impossible, how could Master be dead? Master is so strong, how could he die? Grandmother saw Tian was saddened, went over to hug her, and comforted her. Tian, don't listen to their nonsense, it's just the cultivators. Side of the story. Tian, after hearing her grandmother's words, asked, "But Grandma, why did the jade pendant Master left me shatter? Why did it end up like this?" Tian held the broken jade with both hands, crying as she held her face. Master had clearly said, he said he would definitely come back. The entire room was silent. Watching the little girl cry, everyone silently felt heartbroken. The scene shifts to Jiang Yang, who laughed smugly and said, "Ha ha ha, truly foolish, so foolish. Not only stupid, but also arrogant. If it were me, I definitely wouldn't take the risk myself, thinking I'm invincible." She broke into a cold sweat when she saw this scene. I never expected that the immortal would die in Jiang Yang's scheme. What kind of terrifying trap is there in the Wuhua Tian pond? Jiang Yang continued to enjoy himself. He's just an insignificant immortal. To go against me, does he think? He's some kind of demon ancestor or Dao ancestor. Not killing him myself was really letting him off easy. The girl standing beside him thought, Jiang Yang's identity is definitely not simple. His methods are more terrifying than his cultivation. It seems my guess was right. Thankfully, I chose to work for him. Suddenly, a group of people flew in from the sky and stood in front of Jiang Yang. The girl loudly asked, "Who?" Then she realized that the aura of these people came from the upper realms. Jiang Yang asked them, "This is a big deal. Where is your master's person? Let her come out and meet me." A military officer stepped forward and bowed to Jiang Yang. "The master has been waiting at the center pavilion for a long time. Please. Sir, come quickly." Jiang Yang looked at him and said, "What happened to the current heir? How dare she make me go meet her?" The military officer replied, "This matter is important. Please forgive me, sir." Jiang Yang could only helplessly say, "Sigh, looks like the rules of the human ancestor hall will repeat again." Switching to the center pavilion, the military officer entered and reported, "The Holy Maiden has been delivered." Inside, the Holy Maiden was sitting and playing the guqin. She said softly, "Are you Jiang Yang?" Jiang Yang said seriously, "Since you know my identity, be careful with your words." "What do you mean by lacking manners?" "That's right, I am the one you must desperately search for." She stood up. "Good." Jiang Yang thought to himself, the rules of the human ancestor hall really are ineffective, but their eye for choosing people isn't bad. She turned and said, "You're useless now, go die." Jiang Yang and the girl standing behind him both froze, not understanding what had just happened. The girl stepped forward and said, "Sure enough, she is the holy maiden, even a saint. This is an ambush. It's over this time." Jiang Yang calmly asked, "You're not from the human ancestor hall, so how do you know my identity?" She couldn't be bothered to answer. "Forget it, no need to say more. Today is the day you die." At that moment, she stopped pretending and directly attacked. Jiang Yang then recognized that the holy maiden was the female lead from before. She softly said, "You're about to die, why ask so much?" He smiled strangely, showing an evil grin, and then concentrated his spiritual power in 2 fingers. "Humph, it doesn't matter whether you're with that person or not, you'll beg me to spare you later." His spiritual power grew stronger in his hands, and he confidently shouted, "How much can you endure? This is the supreme power." At this moment, the girl wasn't weak either. She cast a formation, making a crack sound, scattering the spiritual power in Jiang Yang's hands. Then both of them suddenly froze, standing in the grass like confused fawns. Jiang Yang's face changed drastically. He thought to himself, "What's going on? Why can't I use the supreme immortal bone power? Could that person be betraying me?" The girl rushed up and swung a knife toward Jiang Yang's neck. "Stop pretending." A small hand gently slapped Jiang Yang's face, sending him flying. He spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. In pain, he covered his face and cursed, again with the face slapping, "How much do you people like slapping faces?" The girl didn't understand why he said that, thinking he was rambling. She then immediately performed the imperial technique, extinguishing Heaven's sword, a giant long sword slashing toward Jiang Yang. Jiang Yang, seeing this, immediately shouted, "Do you think I'm so easy to bully?" He used the immortal staff seal to counter, and the seal flew out, colliding with the holy maiden's giant sword, causing the entire sky to light up. The 2 attacks collided, erupting with a deafening sound. Smoke and dust filled the air. The girl covered her eyes and looked around, but couldn't find Jiang Yang. She looked to the other side and found a woman being beaten terribly, unable to stop herself from crying out, "Jiang Yang, come save me." Another massive explosion occurred, with debris flying everywhere. In the end, all that was left was one of the woman's shoes. The 2 elders looked around, confused as to what trick Jiang Yang had used to save the woman and then rise into the air right before their eyes. At this moment, Jiang Yang was holding the severely wounded and unconscious woman. He had no choice but to use the power of the reincarnation seal to escape. Seeing this, the girl and the 2 elders immediately gave chase. "Jiang Yang, this place is already sealed off by us. Even if you grow wings, you can't escape." Jiang Yang frowned and coldly sneered, "You want to keep me here? With these broken things, you're not worthy." Jiang Yang dashed through the air, fleeing madly. He crashed into a stone tablet and continued to run. At this moment, the girl realized that he had just used the ancient substitution technique. The elder said, "This must be a trap he had set up long ago." The girl had to praise him, "No wonder he's the human ancestor, his methods are brilliant. He's really not easy to deal with." At this time, a subordinate came to report, "My lord, when that immortal descended to the lower realm, the first place he landed was the feathered sky pond. Forces like the Xian domain and Tai Su sect have already received the news and are gathering people to head to the immortal staff holy land." The girl sneered, "He can escape for a day or 2, but can he escape for 10 years? Let's go to the immortal staff holy land. Also, send a command to the heavenly domain, the disciple Jiang Yang from the immortal staff holy land is a demonic cultivator. Anyone who shelters him will be purged according to the law." On the other side, Gu Changde had appeared with an announcement, the immortal Jiang Yang from the upper realm was defeated, unwilling to accept it. His mind collapsed, gaining 8,000 points of luck and 40,000 points of destiny. Gu Chang'e smiled, such a quick harvest. Has Mingquan's plan already taken effect? With the traps she set, Jiang Yang will probably be in for a tough time. Well done. We weaken his luck 2 more times, and he will act soon. But trying to eat me is truly difficult. You even set up these things to suppress your great saint. However, it's a pity, this power is still far from being able to deal with me. Once I refine the Nirvana Blue Lotus, there will be no place for you in the heavenly God realm. Then, it will be time for me to meet you. I really look forward to it. What kind of expression will you have, Guiyang? Haha. The scene shifts to Guiyang, who has successfully escaped. He said angrily, "Damn it, who did this? I can't believe the soul fragment of the Supreme Fairy was erased." The girl also asked in surprise, This is the ancestral worship place. Why has it turned into this?" While he was enraged, 3 figures suddenly flew in from the door, found him. "He's here." The girl turned and warned Guiyang, "Holy Lord, someone is coming." The Holy Lord and 3 immortal lords arrived, angrily saying, "The forbidden ground is destroyed." "Guiyang, do you know what you've done?" Guiyang didn't even look back and directly cursed, "You fools, what have I done?" This should be your question. Why were you guarding the forbidden ground? The Holy Lord shouted angrily, "Damn it, now it's being spread everywhere that you're a demonic cultivator. The immortals and all major forces are hunting you down, and they have surrounded the entire immortal sect Holy Land. Do you still want to act like nothing is happening here?" Hearing this, Guiyang turned around, pointed directly at the Holy Lord's face and said, "Do you believe me when I say that woman harmed me? It's a pity you're the Holy Lord, yet you're being played by someone without even realizing it. The immortal sect Holy Land will eventually be destroyed under your hand." The Holy Lord was very angry at this point and gathered spiritual power. The girl pleaded, "Holy Lord, please listen to me. The destruction of the forbidden ground has nothing to do with Guiyang. When we arrived here, it was already." Before she could finish, the Holy Lord interrupted, "Enough. Stop arguing." The elder said, "The Holy Land treated you well. Yet you went to help that monster do such reckless things. Truly disappointing. Today, neither of you will escape." As he spoke, the Holy Lord thought, "That immortal is dead, and I was still counting on you." Now, one after another. Then the Holy Lord shouted, "Why haven't you caught this kid yet? Do you think you can still play tricks with upper realm methods?" The elder immediately rushed forward to explain, "No, that's not it, please, Holy Lord, calm down." Gua Yang ignored him, coldly saying, "Looks like it's impossible to explain now. I originally wanted to take care of the immortal sect Holy Land after I succeeded, but you people are becoming more and more reckless." The subordinates behind the Holy Lord saw this and said, "Holy Lord, the elder and Guiyang have chaotic auras and are injured. They indeed fought with the immortal." The Holy Lord replied, "I see it. The immortal sect Holy Land must not be allowed to be dragged down by him and be destroyed. Everyone, act together and capture him." At this moment, Guiyang laughed loudly, holding his forehead, "Good, good, good." Then he turned to the Holy Lord, his eyes showing a terrifying light, and said, "Today, I want to see if you have the ability." Outside the immortal sect Holy Land, the immortal and the others had surrounded it. It seems the immortal sect Holy Lord is truly a wise person, able to distinguish the current situation. Very clever, but still not enough. Guiyang has many tricks, and you are all veterans of the heavenly God realm. Since ancient times, righteousness and evil cannot coexist. If the immortal sect Holy Lord loses, I trouble you all to remove this demon. Somewhere, Guachanga was coughing non-stop. And here, several elders said, "Rest assured, immortal Lord. If there's a demonic cultivator in the heavenly God realm, we will eliminate him." Everyone said in unison, we will not decline this task. At this moment, in the closed space, the holy maiden Shu Shu felt a change. What's happening? Has that demon Guachanga broken through? She was no longer sitting in her chair but standing up. How is this possible? How could a low realm have the chance to let him break through? Then she thought to herself, could something have happened to the human ancestor? No, it shouldn't be. I've already warned the reincarnation of the human ancestor. Suddenly, a purple light flashed, illuminating the entire world. Then, the bulletin board appeared. Congratulations to the host, for refining the Nirvana Blue Lotus and breaking through to the consistent Holy Realm. In the previous episode, Jiang Yang and the Immortal Palace were being attacked by people from the martial arts world, and the leader of this team was the Holy Maiden. At the same time, Gu Changa finally broke through. To refine this guy's chance, it indeed takes a lot of effort. But after multiple reductions, Jiang Yang's luck value was no longer enough to resist me using this card to steal luck. Gu Changa's eyes flickered. With purple evil energy, and the corner of his mouth curled into a cold smile, let me think about how to drain your last bit of luck, Suddenly, Gu Changa noticed something approaching. Gu Changa sighed, they're all here. Then let's fight together. The scene shifted to Yu Ming and her team, who were chasing Jiang Yang. Several elders were walking and talking. Immortal, ahead is the martial transformation heavenly pool, which is extremely dangerous, but Jiang Yang rushed in without hesitation. Another elder followed. Jiang Yang's methods are brilliant, even the immortal will holy master and all the elders couldn't stop him. Yu Ming thought to herself, it seems I really underestimated this reincarnated demon clan member. I never expected the demon clan to use the reincarnation fruit from their past life, and the entire immortal will holy land was wiped out by him. The scene shifted to Tian Tian and her grandmother, who was following Tian Tian and said, Tian Tian, slow down, it's very dangerous here. But the little girl said fearfully, Grandma, we have to find the master, I believe the master will never die. Suddenly, the two of them stopped, hearing Jiang Yang's voice, I've been wondering why I couldn't see Grandma and Tian Tian in the immortal will holy land, so it turns out Grandma brought Tian Tian here. Jiang Yang smirked as he looked at them with a mocking expression and said, are you here to find your master? Tian Tian, you need to learn to suppress your sadness, your master is already gone. But the grandmother and granddaughter were not only shocked by Jiang Yang's words, they also didn't understand why Jiang Yang appeared here. Jiang Yang stepped forward and continued, I heard your master was torn apart by 5 horses here, and there are many ferocious beasts around. They must have eaten him clean. Why do you have to suffer like this, even bringing Grandma into the Forbidden Land? As Jiang Yang spoke, he lowered his head and touched Tian Tian's face, saying, Tian Tian, it's dangerous here. There's a crazy woman outside who will eat you if she sees you. Hurry up and listen to me, let's leave together. Tian Tian shook off Jiang Yang's hand and shouted angrily, shut up, it's all your fault, if it weren't for you, Master wouldn't have come here, and this wouldn't have happened. It's all your fault, do you think I don't know? What are you pretending for? The reincarnated demon clan member could only smile awkwardly at this point, I didn't expect that. In your heart, our years of dependence on each other are nothing compared to the few days you spent with your master. Truly ridiculous, I miss you day and night, I'm still young, but my hair turned white. Before he could finish, suddenly Tian Tian's whole body was surrounded by a powerful aura, and she flew up, you're not my brother, you're an old monster who took over my brother's body. Give my Jiang Yang brother back to me. Grandma also tried to stop Tian Tian but was powerless. The reincarnated demon clan member saw this scene and knew that Tian Tian had lost control. So he said to the accompanying elder, find a way to stop her first, let me recover my strength. The girl obeyed and stepped forward to block Tian Tian, waiting for the reincarnated demon to return. Jiang Yang stepped on the ground and flew into the air, flying and arrogantly saying, as long as I refine the Nirvana Lotus, whether it's Tian Tian or that crazy woman outside, it won't be a problem anymore. He flew with a smug expression, but suddenly a sword flew from somewhere, knocking him down to the ground. He flew up cursing, "Damn it, open your dog eyes and look, dare to attack even your master." But the headless skeleton only said, "Kill." This surprised the reincarnated human, thinking, "Impossible, the ancient divine corpse doesn't accept me, nor obey my command." Suddenly, he realized something. What is this? According to my memory, I didn't set these things up. The scene shifts to Yu Mingkong's team at this time, with thunderbolts striking down from the sky. She still doesn't understand where this powerful aura is coming from. A few elders following her asked, could this momentum be from that Kuang Yang? What should we do, immortal? She replied, wait and see, don't act rashly. Yu Mingkong thought to herself, this power is definitely not from Kuang Yang, but how could such a force exist in the heavenly god realm? This aura is even making my soul tremble. Wait, this aura feels familiar. Meanwhile, Tian Tian and Zhao Di are still battling. But they suddenly stopped and locked eyes. A huge arm appeared, striking straight towards Zhao Di. This scene left her shocked, and she quickly took out a bronze cauldron to block it. But the bronze cauldron was crushed into a flattened mess by a single punch. Facing such terrifying power, she could only rely on Kuang Yang, and she shouted, "Kuang Yang, save me." At the same time, Kuang Yang was struggling to fend off the divine corpse. He looked at Zhao Di, puzzled, and said, why do those methods and that aura feel so familiar? Meanwhile, Zhao Di was still enduring the thunderous heavy punches. After a moment, Zhao Di's body was shattered into pieces. The scene shifts to Tian Tian and her grandmother, with her grandmother observing in shock, a single punch could kill an elder. From the immortal will Holy Land, as easily as killing an ant. This power, even an immortal might struggle to resist. But then her grandmother shouted loudly, seeing that Tian Tian still hadn't regained consciousness and was still trying to fight that huge fist. Her grandmother rushed to shout, Tian Tian, run. But Tian Tian didn't hear it at all, as she had lost control and mumbled, give me back my dignity, bring my brother back to me. Suddenly, with a snap of the fingers, Tian Tian was flung several kilometers away. Fortunately, her grandmother caught her. The massive arm retracted. Back to the reincarnated human, he was using the power of the immortal seal, trying to revive Zhao Di. After Zhao Di was revived, she said, thank you, I didn't expect you to have prepared a substitute. Kuang Yang replied, fortunately, your soul was strong enough, otherwise you would have turned to dust just now. But even so, the power of the reincarnation seal has been nearly exhausted, and I can't save you again. Then he took out a supreme seal and said, hold this supreme chi to protect the law here. Don't let anyone disturb me. After saying this, he entered the source of that powerful aura. Zhao Di obeyed the command and responded, yes, Lord Kuang Yang, please rest assured. After walking for a while, the reincarnated human ancestor felt something was wrong. This doesn't seem like the natural anomaly inside the Feathered Sky Pool's secret realm. Although it's strange, as long as I can absorb the Nirvana World Qing Lotus, nothing else matters. He suddenly stopped and did not move forward. Because in front of him was a very familiar figure, along with a low, gentle greeting, you've arrived? Jiang Yang broke out in a cold sweat upon seeing this and said, how are you still alive? How could you be here? Gu Chang'e still didn't turn around but smiled calmly, didn't you personally let me in? Ha ha ha. After speaking, he turned around, his gaze familiar, with a smile at the corner of his mouth. Jiang Yang, ah no, I should call you the human ancestor, right? Jiang Yang trembled in shock from Gu Chang'e's question, how do you know my identity? You're not an ordinary upper realm cultivator, so who exactly are you? Gu Chang'e simply smiled and said, oh. Aren't you the one who prides yourself on planning for thousands of miles, with no mistakes? Can't even figure out who I am. But that's not important, because now that you've entered here, you're destined to die. Gu Chang'e looked at Jiang Yang and continued speaking. You've stolen so many points of luck, yet you still don't get it. Looks like it's going to take some effort. He cursed inwardly, damn, how come this reincarnation has so many variables? I don't have any trump cards left. Seeing this, Gu Chang'e smiled proudly. However, I've always been a person who values martial ethics. Since you're the reincarnation of the human ancestor, I'll let you say a few final words. Jiang Yang gritted his teeth and said, he has a taboo, it seems there's still hope. He continued, final words. Since you know I'm the human ancestor, then you should also know. You can't kill me, because I've reincarnated countless times, and I will return every time. If you don't want to regret it in the future, you should. Before he could finish his words, there was a loud slap, and Gu Chang'e directly slapped him across the face. Jiang Yang covered his face and angrily shouted, I am the human ancestor, immortal through the ages. How dare you slap me? Gu Chang'e took something from his storage space and sneered, didn't you want to know my identity? An ancient bottle appeared, and Jiang Yang's pupils contracted. Those old guys from the Heaven Staff Holy Land know about this thing. You should know, right? Jiang Yang stared at the bottle and exclaimed in shock, the Great Tao Treasure Bottle. So you are, the successor of the demon art? Gu Chang'e revealed a satisfied smile, that's right. Our identities have already predetermined this outcome. Don't blame me for being heartless. Jiang Yang then understood, from the very beginning, your target was me. You're not an immortal who just passed through the lower realm. You've been scheming all along, everything was part of your plan. But how did you know my identity? Did someone from the human ancestor temple betray me? At this moment, a prompt appeared, the child of luck, Jiang Yang, has collapsed mentally, and a large amount of luck is lost. Gu Chang'e casually threw the treasure bottle behind him and said indifferently, no, it's fate. Because of a foolish woman. Is that all you want to say? After reincarnating so many times, you still have this kind of mentality? After speaking, Gu Chang'e suddenly approached and whispered in Jiang Yang's ear, you disappoint me too much. His gaze was sharp, exuding the demeanor of a victor. At this moment, Jiang Yang could only stutter. Why is the successor of the demon art in this life so strong? I've been trampled on every lifetime. As soon as the words were spoken, Gu Chang'e slammed his knee into Jiang Yang's abdomen. Then, Gu Chang'e grabbed his collar. He slammed Jiang Yang violently into the ground. Then he directly threw Jiang Yang over 10 meters away. At this moment, Jiang Yang could only stand in place, silently enduring. Gu Chang'e stepped on Jiang Yang, sneering, is this all you have for final words? After saying your final words, it's time to go. Jiang Yang gritted his teeth and answered, no wonder no one came to save me. It seems that the descendant of the human ancestor temple in this generation has already fallen into your hands. Gu Chang'e listened and coldly waved his hand, opening the space that imprisoned the saintess. Are you talking about her? At this moment, a saintess, covered only by tattered rags, was brought out. Before she could understand the situation, Gu Chang'e directly said, meet the human ancestor you wanted to see the most. This will be your first and last meeting. The saintess was horrified, Gu Chang'e, what are you talking about? He is the reincarnation of the human ancestor. Gu Chang'e continued stepping on Jiang Yang, calmly saying, he is your faith. Aren't you going to save him? The saintess was shocked, unable to believe, impossible. How could the human ancestor be him? Jiang Yang, lying on the ground, burned with rage, you are the saintess of the human ancestor temple. Very well. Then, Jiang Yang's body erupted in a dazzling light. Gu Chang'e sensed something was wrong. Suddenly, a terrifying explosion swept through the area, and debris flew everywhere. Gu Chang'e was slightly startled and quickly stepped back. On the other side, Jiang Yang had already flashed behind the saintess, grabbing her by the neck, and coldly laughed, I have no other choice now, but right now, ha ha ha, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Gu Chang'e simply chuckled, oh. Don't tell me you want to use her to threaten me. Jiang Yang continued to grip the saintess's neck tightly, I'm not that naive. As the descendant of the human ancestor temple, now is the time for her to fulfill her mission, sacrificing her life to summon the human ancestor temple. The saintess, hearing this, was filled with pain and unable to speak. Jiang Yang continued, even now, if you don't die, you'll be crippled, Gu Chang'e, right? Now, we can say it's a tie. Gu Chang'e, upon hearing this, said indifferently, oh. Is that so? A system prompt appeared, luck struggle, negative value. Then suddenly, Jiang Yang still didn't understand what had happened, his face full of confusion, like a dazed little deer. In an instant, intense purple light appeared around the saintess's body, forcing Jiang Yang back. Jiang Yang immediately broke into a cold sweat, thinking, is this a trap to control the living saintess? How did they know the secret of sealing the Tao ancestor? What's with that murderous gaze? It seems like every move I make is already calculated by him. On this side, Gu Chang'e wore a satisfied smile, thinking, is the gap really this big? Jiang Yang fell to the ground, and many hands reached out from all around to pull him down. The saintess had also fainted, with only faint murmurs remaining beside her, no. No. It's his. A system prompt popped up, successfully killed the son of fate, reincarnation of the human ancestor, fate law has been cleared, obtained, Zen Dao treasure mirror. On this side, the saintess sat limply on the ground, saying with great sorrow, you killed the human ancestor. Gu Chang'e, while operating the interface, calmly said, he's already dead. Should I wait for him to come and kill me? Gu Chang'e didn't care about the saintess's reaction and continued to check his rewards, reincarnation seal. 2 reincarnation seals in hand, I've got another one. The system prompt rang, congratulations to the host for obtaining, reincarnation ancestor seal. Congratulations to the host for obtaining, fate axis. Congratulations to the host for obtaining, guiding Tao fruit. Gu Chang'e secretly pondered, guiding Tao fruit. This seems to be the martial endowment of the human ancestor, involving the soul. It can replicate his cultivation and primordial spirit. While it can't ensure success, it's already terrifying. And, fate axis, can temporarily raise my black fate to purple. Combined with, guiding Tao fruit, it's simply a divine weapon for setting traps. While pondering and calculating, the saintess suddenly said, just kill me. Now that the human ancestor is dead, my existence is meaningless. Gu Chang'e, seeing this, calmly said, what? Are you addicted to being a tool? Don't even need a reason to live anymore. Gu Chang'e walked closer and gently stroked the saintess's cheek, it's okay. Then let me help you. The saintess looked at Gu Chang'e with pleading eyes, help me. Gu Chang'e laughed and said, actually, all beings in heaven and earth need a faith, not the so-called human ancestor. Now, besides you and me, who else knows he's already dead? As for the human ancestor temple, behind you, there's no need to worry. With my methods, they won't even notice. The saintess, upon hearing this, shouted angrily, doesn't that mean I'm betraying my sect? The human ancestor is irreplaceable. How can anyone impersonate him? Gu Chang'e replied, of course there's a difference. You say you treat the human ancestor temple as your sect and the human ancestor as your faith, but they only see you as a backup plan for the human ancestor temple. Is that worth it? They will discard you once they've used you. Since they are heartless, don't blame you for being unfaithful. The saintess lowered her head, her eyes full of sorrow, this is my fate. I can't betray the human ancestor temple. You should just kill me. Gu Chang'e suddenly picked her up, terrifying her, I don't think you've figured out your situation yet. Your life is mine now. Want to die? It's not that easy. Gu Chang'e's face showed a dangerous smile as he carried her into the space-time vortex. Behind him, the saintess's scream echoed, shameless. What do you want to do to me? The scene shifted, and on the other side, an elder seemed to sense something. She said with joy on her face, finally done. Did Jiang Yang succeed? But just a second later, her face turned pale because she saw Gu Chang'e's figure slowly appear, no. That's. She stammered, please spare my life, immortal. But a wave passed by her side, and she immediately logged out. Su Chang'e coldly said, it's a pity you chose the wrong civilization. The saintess in the sky silently observed everything. Jiang Yang's aura truly disappeared. What exactly happened? The lotus seed of the Nirvana lotus, how could such a good thing be lost? Why does it feel like they were deliberately waiting for me here? Then she suddenly realized there was a powerful aura around her. Ming didn't expect this aura. But how did he find it, and every time he's one step ahead of me? She looked into the distance, disappointed. Why can't I see him even once? The elders over here were also discussing, should we go over and help? Otherwise, those two old ones won't be able to hold on.